Game over.
And what is up? Welcome back. It's Friday night. You're here with the Average Boys Podcast. I am here with my boy Brian D. Brian, what is up, my dude?
Yo, what is going on, Crispy, and everyone that's watching or listening, whatever you guys are doing right now? How are you doing, superstar?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. It's been a chill week. Nothing too crazy.
No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. You really think I'm gonna let you just come in just your regular old fucking way after the performance you put on during that short at
Hey, it
the
was
South
cool, man. I
Texas
told you, man.
International Film Festival? Sir, no, I will not allow you to do so. I need you to tell the people, yo, I had an amazing week. I'm sure you got a big reception for your short. Tell us everything. Tell us how that went.
So we had a really good time. So last week I was part of a group hosted by Joshua Morales, who is with the sunglasses, shades.
I gotta be you. I gotta be you.
Gotta live it up.
I gotta, you know what I mean?
Joshua Morales hosted. Well, he didn't host. He asked me if I wanted to be involved in a 48-hour film race for South Texas International Film Festival, which was hosted by the city of Edinburgh.
That's it.
And we had been wanting to work together for a really long time. He does a lot of directing, a lot of content creation, and I've been known for my stunt work and martial arts and all this stuff for a long time. So he kind of hit me up and was like, yo, would you want to be a part of this? And I was like, cool, man, just let me know. That's all. That's how I've kind of always answered him, because it's not based on his work. It's based on a lot of the people that have tried to do films down here in South Texas that they kind of flake. They kind of flake on getting it done. And I'm one of those dudes that if you're going to do it, like we got to do it. We got to do it.
A lot of talkers and not a lot of doers. Yeah. Gotcha.
And it's understandable, man, because like the film industry down here in the South Texas area, it's very niche. Like it's super thin, man. It's super thin. Mm-hmm. So he hit me up, and I'm one of those guys. Like I'm a perfectionist. I like to work, and I like to work hard, and I like to put my wholehearted essence into it. And I've got a lot of talent that I've kind of bottled up all these years. And I'm a tinkerer, and I'm a creator. I just do things.
You're a doer.
I don't do things like half-hearted. So he hit me up. We had Saturday from like 2:00 p.m. till 9:00 p.m. before the clubs opened, because we did it at a club. And we ended up doing the video really, really well. A lot of people really liked it at the film festival. Now, we didn't get to place, and I think the reason why is because when it was edited, we ended up not being able to put, or you can't really see one of the pieces, which in the film race, it was supposed to be ice cream, a sacrifice, and some type of like noir scene where you use black and white.
Okay.
And the ice cream's there, but it's dangling from the car mirror, and it's super out of focus in the shot. And I think it was just one of those things, like they just didn't see it. So I think with that, like that was the only reason why we weren't able to place in the film race. But we got such a fucking awesome response from the crowd with the ending scene. Like, first it was when I get my head put up against, the broken leg, when I snapped the dude's leg.
Yeah.
And then I fucking get my head bashed against the desk or the table.
That was dope.
And then, of course, the uppercut, and then the bashing when he's on the ground.
Yeah.
And then I got a good little like giggle at the end when I'm trying to smoke a cigarette that's like all broken from my pocket or whatever.
That shit was awesome. And you know what? I'm glad that you did a really good job, because I would have hated to come in here.
You would have been making fun of me, dude.
I'd have been like, dude, what was that, bro? Like, what did you do? What did you do?
No, it was wild, man. Dude, I had a good time, man. And it was cool because, like I said, like I hadn't had this opportunity to kind of like do anything of the stretching of my acting stuff anymore, my stunt work. And being that I'm just getting older, it kind of just sucks because, you know, I used to do like gymnastics and flips and crazy shit that I always wanted to kind of put, you know, as a martial artist, you know, I grew up watching Jackie Chan, you know, Yun Bao, you know, Samo Young, Donnie Yen, like all those guys, and you just want to be like them. You know what I mean? But of course, like that wasn't happening. That's not happening in my area. So, Robert, what's up, my dude? It's good to see you in the comment section. Like the great actor Heath Ledger said, I'm like a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do if I caught one, you know? I just do things. Exactly, dude. Exactly. And that's the way it should be. Just do things. Other than that, it was a really great weekend. The reception went really well. South Texas International Film Festival hosted a great event. There were some really cool people there. Got to see some of my old friends from, like, you know, school and high school and college and all this other stuff. So very nice. After that, you know, went to the gym, did some damage, punched some people in the face. You know, we do what we do every day. So it was nice. Gotcha. How about you?
I mean, dude, I can't, I'm upset I have to follow that because I have nothing to talk about, dude. Like, it's just been a regular week for me. Again, I had a blast watching you and just enjoying your weekend and the reception from, you know, just the comments from people underneath your posts. I enjoyed that. And you know, I got to get in my digs now and then. You know, it's the Jersey in me. I got to talk my shit. But no, I thoroughly enjoyed that. That was literally one of the highlights of my week. So I was really proud of you. And other than that, man, like that was, I mean, it's getting cold over here in Jersey. I got got a little light hoodie on. So I'm not ready for that. But other than that,
it's so hot as balls here, man. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it's super hot. Again, you guys can keep that. I'll take the seasons changing. You guys can definitely keep that.
I just want to push it to like some state next to us, Oklahoma, or just take it away, man. Give me a little bit of that cold weather. We have been getting a little bit of pockets of rain here and there, which is nice, but Halloween kind of has a tendency to bring us some better weather. So that's what we're kind of waiting for. And then not only that, I don't know if you got to see this past week, I got to hang out with a friend of mine, Ham, of course, our dude with the arcade, the most kind of work. Ham's at Arcade, or Arcades at Ham, and our other friend, Joshua Lopez. We are actually, I'm going to be hosting, and with the podcast is going to be accompanying these guys doing a NanoCon at a brewery down here.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're looking at the 26th of October, and we're going to be at the 80s brewery, man, dude. I'm going to send you pictures of this place. You're going to love it, Brian. You're going to be like, I wish I was there.
I've already looked it up.
It's nice,
I think you posted something already about it, and I took a look, and looks like a pretty good time.
And yeah, dude, we're really, really excited. So we were talking, we had a meeting about it the other day because we're going to be hosting, of course, there's going to be a bunch of retro video games. There's going to be a concert by Sonic Boom, which is Josh's band, and they do like a bunch of like video game rock covers and like synth covers. It's so good. It's so good. These guys are super cool. But we're trying to find a way, because you live in Jersey, and I would like for you to be on this thing too in some way. So we're trying to figure out, like, the week of, or maybe a week before, we're going to host a show, and we're going to have you there, and we're going to put your head in a television screen. And we're going to have you there at the desk too, being able to ask questions and all that other stuff.
Perfect.
So it's going to be like Space Ghost Coast to Coast. I don't know if you remember that.
I love that show. You kidding me?
Yes, dude. So it's going to be like that. You're going to be the guy on the TV. So that's what we're trying to push for. And that's pretty much how, like, it's so wild, but that's been like my dream. So when I go do conventions and I get to meet all these celebrities, I've always, I told you, I always want you to be there. And that's the other way that I was trying to plan it. I wanted to get a TV with your head on it and have you be able to ask questions to the celebrities as I'm doing it also.
That's awesome.
Dude, doesn't that sound like a really fucking good variety show for a convention?
Yeah, 1,000%.
So that way it's like, they're going to be like, where's Brian at? Like, where's he at? He's like, oh, he's in New Jersey. Well, you know what I mean? And they're going to be like, what the hell's going on, man? It'd be so fucking funny. Be hilarious, dude. But that's my dream. We're planning it out. It's going to happen. I guarantee it's going to happen. But right now, it's looking like a pretty cool little event. It's going to be a little Smash Con. We're going to call it a NanoCon. It's going to be cool. Fucking Street Fighter Championship Edition tournament. Killer Instinct tournament. Mortal Kombat 11 tournament. Just everything, man. Everything. Yeah. I changed it again.
Yeah, I got to keep you guys. Fred, what's up, Triggs? I got to keep you guys on your toes. I can't, you know what I mean? Like,
can't change it up. We got to change it up every week.
Got to change it up, man.
Gotta change it. It's all good. But yeah, we're looking at October 26th, the last weekend of Halloween, cosplay event, family event. The brewery's going to make it to where it's going to be during the early times, not during the clubbing scenes. Can't wait to let it happen. It's going to be really, really cool. Really excited. Just really excited. I'm always happy to kind of, get the podcast into a convention or something like that so that we can be out there, meeting the community and stuff. But yeah, other than that, it's been a pretty chill week. I got to watch season 5 of Cobra Kai.
And how was it? How was it?
Dude, fucking Cobra Kai's nuts, man.
So wait, is it episodic or is it like they give you the entire? It's Netflix, so they give you the entire.
Drop it, dude. They just dropped the whole season. Right?
Did you binge the entire thing in one sit in like one sitting?
I actually saw. I want to say like 4 or 5 episodes. We saw them at night, and then the next day 4 or 5 episodes, and that was about it.
Okay.
So,
and how was it?
Kind of chilled through it, man. It was cool. And the season, I mean, they're doing an amazing job.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna lie. It's some of the best writing I've seen in like a episodical show.
Now, this is big, like coming from you, because you were probably the most
I'm very jaded
critical critic that I know. And for you to say that it was good, I mean, shit, especially the way you just worded that, like some of the best writing.
Yeah, it really is. And it's so crazy because like, so we're on this, we're on this episodical adventure with She-Hulk, and they're talking about making it like it's very attorney-ish. It's very like Sex and the City, or it's got its moments that it kind of compares to different stuff. But it's so crazy to see Cobra Kai do it without explaining that they're trying to do something a certain way. Like it still keeps in that really cool genre of like an 80s family action movie.
Okay.
And it's so wild, man. It's so wild. But some of the stuff is a little silly, but it works. It works because how karate schools and martial arts and like how it's kind of explained to be throughout these type of like scenes and movies and stuff, where it's real like people that are just full of themselves, like acting like they're fucking gods amongst men, and they're just like doing some weird after school shit.
Yeah.
But like the kids just like they'll be at Walmart and like a gang of kids will just see another gang of kids. It's like the Bloods and the Crips, dude. Like, like they do not fuck around. Like, and then no one's getting arrested.
So it's like it's on site. Like if they see each other, it's on site. Like,
dude, it's fucking wild. I'm not even lying, man. I can't explain to you how wild it is because it almost has a really crazy resemblance to the original Karate Kid TV show, where it's just like these kids are like menaces, dude. Like they're going around breaking real laws. And they just get away with, like Tokyo Revengers. They just get away with the randomest shit that regular people get arrested. Like the moment that shit pops, like you all
getting locked up,
like that shit. That they just all like all the people are just there with their hands on their head, like, you kids. And it's fucking wild. And the instructors are written, dude. My explanation is they were written like Akuma and Master Splinter, like they're just out of this world acting. The one dude that is the main instructor from the original Karate Kid movie, the one that taught Johnny.
Yeah.
Remember that? Like the real asshole instructor?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that guy is like straight Solid Snake from Metal Gear, dude. Like, dude, and you'll know if you see it. Like, I know you don't really like, you don't really care about this show too much. It doesn't catch you, right?
It doesn't. I mean, honestly, I've been having my friends Creasy, I've had my friends from day one tell me, "Yo, you should watch it," and I'm a huge fan of the original Karate Kid. But I don't know, it's just one of those shows. I think we all have like those shows where like you want to watch it, you just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, but you're just like, nah, it's cool.
I just haven't gotten around to it. There's just so much content and just so much things to watch, and being that like I have another like podcast to do, most of my time is just filled with watching content. I just have not got around to it at all.
And it's the same thing with me. Like for some odd reason, like I never jumped at the first or second season of the Cobra Kai show. Like it wasn't until my roommate was like, she was watching it and she's like, "Yo, you need to sit down and watch this." And then, of course, Alex and Gilbert, my two good friends, are like, "Yo, you need to watch this." They bought stickers, they bought shirts, they bought fucking sweaters, they had the karate uniforms. They had
you fell to the pressure, FOMO.
Yeah, dude, I was like, I love my friends. FOMO. I love my friends. And if they say, "Yo, they vouch on that shit," And they're like, dude, just watch it, bro. Come on, just watch. I'm like, all right.
I'm the complete opposite. If someone tells me to watch it, I'm be like, fuck out of here, bro. Like, I don't know if I want to watch it now.
So
Like,
I
I don't
watched
know.
it, dude. This is me too. Like, I fucking run a karate school. Like, I don't need to watch this. I live this shit every other week. Yeah. So it's like, and it's so funny because like the show literally touches on shit that just happens in fucking weird karate schools. Like the karate schools, like the dudes that don't fucking spar, they fucking act super weird and they want to control the kids, and that, you know, this old traditional style still works in a fucking fighting world. Like it's those guys, and it fucking, dude, it hits so close to home that you're kind of like, oh, this is like, it's like Trick said, like it's super cringe. Like you're just like, oh fuck, like, oh man, that's kind of almost on the nose in this last season. No joke. I won't explain too much, but at the end, it consists of breaking and entering, fucking gang violence on two ends, two separate places, a fucking gate being smashed at like 90 miles an hour by a limo, a fucking sword fight in a swimming pool with fire near the pool. Like there's fire like in the shot, and it's
sword
like
fight. You said,
yeah, like a fucking sword fight, like just in like ankle high water in a swimming pool that you're like, why is the fucking pool that shallow? Like that doesn't make any sense. Like who has a swimming pool that shallow? Like, I don't know, like ankle deep just to have water in the scene. And yeah. And fucking samurai swords and ninja size, dude, for no fucking reason. It's the wildest shit like I had ever seen. And I was so like, at first I was like, this is like every 80s action trope put into like one attempt. Like one fucking shot. You know what it reminded me of?
What's that?
Do you remember what a deep cut in the martial arts movie world? American Ninja?
Yes.
Remember like when he went to go see the ninjas like in broad daylight and they're like on 18-wheelers and they're shooting arrows. Do you remember all that? And the ninjas are like, I mean, we understand ninjas to be like, they're gonna hide in the shadows, they're gonna be sneaky. These motherfuckers are wearing like bright red and green uniforms in broad daylight standing on trucks, and you're like, this ain't ninja shit. What is this? What the fuck is this? And then they're just like, yeah. And that's exactly what this fucking season hit at the end. And it was wild as fuck. Like, and they even had a fake, I don't even want to say that, dude. They had a Metal Gear moment. I'm just going to say they had a Metal Gear moment. With the power of karate, someone beat a psychologist with the power of karate. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Wild show. Entertaining as fuck. The cast is pretty good, and then you get to see, like, of course, they have the one character that's his name's Miguel, who's going to be playing the Blue Beetle in the DC universe. He's still he hasn't been slated yet from David Zaslav yet, so Blue Beetle still looks like, and you can see that he's kind of like packing on the pounds because he's going to be in that uniform. He's going to be pretty built, so it's cool to see these people, and like I said, it's just a great show. I'm so eager. Dude, I can't believe I just read that. Robert put child abuse. Straight, dude. Straight child abuse. I kind of want to know, for anybody that's out there that's listening, if you've been watching the season and the show, what do you feel for the next season? Like, where do you think this is going to go? Because, I mean, dude, Karate Kid literally has hit every point from the old show to now. Like, it's hit everything. Now it's like Street Fighter, like people running off into the woods to train and fight demons, and it's going to get wild as fuck now. But my other thing is, we talked about this, I want to say last week, and I want to say that the Karate Kid film just got okayed, and they're talking about slating it for 2025, I think. They're talking about making a full-on Karate Kid film, like a new entry.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that's on the comments, what do you think about the film? My guess is that they're going to make Chosen the new Mr. Miyagi, and the movie is going to be based about him teaching a whole new generation. That's my call. And Creasy might come back because he's a fucking G, dude. That old fucking weird guy from the first movie. He's fucking wild, man. But yeah. So you never really had the itch to watch that show?
No.
Not at all. What shoots you away from it?
Honestly, it's the I don't know. I just haven't gotten around to it. It wasn't something like I said, oh, well, that looks stupid. No, it actually looks pretty good. There's just been so much that I've been watching, and I just haven't gotten around to it.
Oh shit!
And honestly, I don't even know if I will. To be honest,
is there anything that you're kind
I
of
know that's
casually
not.
watching, like other than She-Hulk? I know you're watching She-Hulk, but is there anything else that you're casually watching right now?
I'm watching a lot of shit. Like I watch a lot of documentaries, so that occupies a lot of my time, and a lot of my friends watch a lot of like interesting documentaries. Also the Tyson, I don't know if I said this on here, but like the Tyson on the Mike
Hulu.
on Hulu, that's
Yeah.
pretty interesting. Yeah, so there's like on Netflix, there's a new documentary series called Untold, and they tell like a bunch of like sports documentaries. So I've been like, whenever I just have any downtime, I'm watching a new episode of that. They have some really interesting stuff on there. And you know what it is, I know that if there's something that's like episodic, not episodic, but if there's something that's binge worthy, I'm just gonna sit there and watch the entire thing. So maybe maybe subconsciously I just am like, yo, I don't have the time for this. Like I just haven't watched it. No.
Yeah, because it's long as fuck, dude. Fucking what, 5 seasons? That's a lot. It's a lot to catch up on. But are you caught up with Rings of Power?
I haven't. No, I told you I'm not watching that either. Like Rings of Power is something that I'm gonna wait until the end. It hasn't even gotten like that well.
Episode 4.
Yeah, but like it hasn't been received well. So there hasn't been anything to draw me to it to be like, yo, I have to watch it. And to be honest with you, I think I said it in one of our episodes. Like I so far removed from the Lord from the Lord of the Rings that I don't know if I want to watch it. Like I'm so far removed. It's been so long since I've seen the last Lord of the Rings movie that I don't read any of the novels. I don't, keep track with the lore. So it's just gonna be like if I watch it, it'll be just to watch and for the purposes of talking about it here. But I thought you said you weren't watching it either.
There was a part of me that didn't want to. But
had I known you would break down and watch it, I would have watched it. It's only like 4 episodes, you said, right?
Yeah. And the cool thing is I mean, with me, I'm one of those people that I just like to get my imagination noodle wet. So the idea of just
don't ever say that
say imaginary noodle.
Don't ever say your imaginary noodle wet to me ever again.
Yeah. But I'm not like a really big fan of the Game of Thrones series, even though it's probably like way more entertaining from what I've heard from a lot of people. Like I just never really got into it. I was just not a big fan of like that type of writing. I'm a little bit more, I guess, like the PG writing, I guess. I'm a little bit more fan of like not really like the hardcore writing. But it's understandable. I mean, I've heard the Game of Thrones is really good right now with the whole I forgot what it's called, House of Dragons. Yeah,
I was interested because I heard like this last episode was like very sexy times shit. Mm-hmm. So like I kind of wanted to
You want to check it out?
So, yeah.
I mean, it's understandable. That's kind of like the way the first Game of Thrones was. So like for me, that never really catches my eye too much. The Lord of the Rings one, I'm a real big fan of like the world building aspect. The scenery is of course super beautiful, and everything that they put behind it is really well put together. The characters I'm getting used to, kind of liking. I know that of course there's always this crazy backlash of what's going on, but I don't really feel like that's really like hurting anything. I mean, people have their opinions. Some of them are very stickler for being what Tolkien's original writings and stuff like that, and they want to interpret it their own way. This is just given the opportunity, and people are out there doing their work, and that's just what it is. If it's not good, it's not good. So far I've gone 3 episodes in. They're all like an hour long, so you really can't go wrong when they're super long and just full of fantasy stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's the way I see it. And I'm on episode like 3 or 4. I don't really know which one it's on, but not too bad. But yeah, not a fucking $1 million show or whatever they claimed it to be. I don't really feel that part. But
so you think the money was just, I don't want to say wasted, but you just don't see where the money went, basically.
I mean, not in that. I mean, because it's probably going to just go into the CG, because like they have these like really wide, beautiful shots of all the lands and stuff. So I mean, that's where I kind of figure most of that would go. But yeah, I don't really feel like it's like $1,000 show, because it's literally like.
I hope it's not $1,000 show.
Huh?
I hope it's not $1,000 show.
I mean, $1 million. Sorry, it's like $1,000. It's a $1 million series, and it's kind of like the same way Game of Thrones is. And I don't want to say Game of Thrones is a $1 million franchise, or like they spent that on every episode or whatever. But I mean, dude, a fucking hour episode everything is probably gonna be a lot of fucking money, man. It's gonna be a lot of fucking money. But
speaking of a lot of money, have you heard of? I mean, I know The Little Mermaid costs a boatload of money to fucking make. Have you heard about like the backlash that movie has gotten so far?
I can't go a day without it, dude. Goddamn,
bro.
yeah, that's
All
crazy.
right, all right. So this really wasn't on the docket, but let me just get your views on that. What do you think of the backlash of people basically saying? And for all those that don't know, if you're living under a rock, there's been a lot of backlash from a lot of people that are saying or having a really big issue with the actress that's playing Ariel, and that they are changing the character from a Caucasian female to a African American female, and a lot of people are up in arms about it. And I've seen a lot of people have different takes on it, but I wanted to get your take on that. How do you feel about them changing Ariel from white to black?
I mean, I've never had a problem with anything like that. What I've always had a problem with is just gender swapping to gender swap, right? Now the idea is there's not really like a cultural push on this or anything.
Gender swap, or do you mean like
race swap,
like a race swap
or any of that stuff?
Okay.
The reason why I'm not is because, of course, you have a large foundation of this character that's based on the animated character, right? So then when they bring in a live action, you know, people will expect to see like the live action as based off of the animated series. And when they change a character that drastically, of course, people are going to freak out. And of course, there's going to be a large amount of them that don't freak out. The reason why you hear the reason why I think it is, the reason why you hear a lot more freaking out is because it works really well for publicity.
Why do you think that people are freaking out? I guess is what I'm asking.
Because, you know, the original character, the main base is, oh, the main character was white. They made him black. Why don't they just do this or that? And it's always the same argument. It's not like it's the first character they've ever done that to. I mean, I think
it's appropriate to bring up, especially on this show, because we've talked about this plenty of times with characters. And I know from your stance, you're like, well, why don't they just make your original
they
stance?
Need to just make original characters.
Okay. And you feel that way with this as well?
I mean, the thing is that they can get away with it because it's fantasy. Like, there's no one to really tell you, like, yes or no, that's the way it goes, right? It's not like the Ariel character was a character that was based in history off of an actual historical character. So they can make it whatever they want. I mean, dude, they just made Namor a Mexican dude, and we've had that conversation a million times when he was in a bunch of comic book based on Islanders and Asian people. So the idea would be like that character was actually Asian.
Yeah.
And no, they made him Mexican. Is it really widely accepted? I don't know if and it's really weird. There's like a really crazy thin line on this. This is for what I've seen on this part. With Namor, there's not like a big acceptance for him being Mexican, but there's a huge like, orale bro, like for Tenoch Huerta. Like for him getting the opportunity to do something cool like that.
Yeah.
So like for the character, there's not really a big acceptance. We're just going to see how that needs to play out. Like we'll see how the character is driven. Tenoch Huerta as an actor, how he's going to carry it, and how Marvel is going to respect this cultural change in this character, right? But Tenoch Huerta, like, fuck, dude, good job, dude. Like, fuck, get that money, boy. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I see it. The crazy thing is, my question is I just got that answer today too. Is I wanted to know how they were going to do Poseidon, because Poseidon is an actual character based on Greek mythology. You know what I mean? Are they going to change his race, or are they going to change his ethnicity? But I ended up seeing that all of his daughters are all based on the seven continents on the edge of the ocean. So he has like an Asian daughter. He has like a South African daughter. He has like a fucking Egyptian. Like he has a bunch of different variations of daughters. And it's like, what's up, Georgie? What's going on? And what's up to Julio Ham? What's up, my dude? Yeah, so like it's one of those things. Like it looks like Poseidon's just out there just getting busy, like on all parts of the ocean. He's out there just getting daughters all left and right. So good on him, I guess. And the actor, I think, is going to be Mediterranean. Like he's a Mediterranean actor. So I guess he would be casually based in like the Greek Roman era of the world, which is cool.
Do you think there's gonna be as much backlash about those characters as there are about this character?
No, of course not.
Why? Why?
Because they're not the main character. Because they're not the main
So
character. These
so
people
then
are all at arms because of the main character.
so then your I guess your analogies here, they don't really apply. So I'm asking why is there such a outcry for again a fictional character that there really isn't any boundaries or parameters that you have to abide by that's set in stone. It's not now it's not like how white actors have been cast
Everything.
in everything when
Yeah.
they really don't have any business and no one even bats an eye. I'm just kind of confused as to why this character is getting such backlash. I'm just curious.
It's like I said, I just think it's based on the idea that there's a bunch of people out there that don't know how to accept it. My thing is Disney culturally back in the day was racist as fuck because it was run by a bunch of white dudes. And they knew that their audience was a bunch of white people. And everyone of an ethnic race was either a joke or a side character. It's just what it was. Now they're here and they're being like, oh shit, people are going to figure out we're racist back in the day. What do we do? They're like, well, fucking let's just change all the characters and give it to them. And it's like, and then that's supposed to make us happy that we're getting all of these characters that used to be white changed into our characters. That doesn't make me happy. I would want them to put the same type of dedication and masterful art into making something grand, like for us, for our minorities, build characters based on us. You can have all those characters. Like they can have all of them. I don't give a shit. I love those characters, but make us something. Like spend that time on making us something. That's been my biggest concern. That's my biggest thing. Like that's me though. Like I know what other people look at and they have their shit that they want to argue about. And that's fine. Let them argue, dude. None of those people are creative.
Yeah.
And right now Disney is not creative. Like it's just not creative. Like that's not a creative move for them to just be like, oh, well, here, take this. We already have this, but take this. And that's going to make us, look at us guys. We gave a minority a cool position in this movie.
See, I think I'm glad you touched on that point. I think that's where I differ from you on that. I think it takes a lot of creativity to do that because not only are you changing the race of this character, but now you're making it, a person of color. That comes with a whole new set of issues, a whole new set of storylines, a whole new set of a lot of things that you can be creative with. Now, if they just casted Ariel as a white actress, that's lack of creativity. Now you're just remaking the exact same. Now you're just making the exact same movie, just live action. To me, that is a lack of creativity. If you put somebody of color, or if you cast this person, with a minority, I think that is a sign of creativity. That's do
you feel then if they do that, like let's say they cast like the way that they have for the Little Mermaid, they cast a person that's a minority, should they then change the origin story a bit to show like the cultural change?
And that's what I'm saying.
Exactly the same.
Of course. And that's the same thing and that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's where the creativity comes in. And going back to your reference or your analogy when it comes to Namor, that's what they're going to do. They're going to be a little bit more creative. They
adapted more of the Mayan culture.
They're going to be a little bit more creative. That gives them the leeway to express, a culture that a lot of people may not be familiar with. So that's where the creativity steps in, and I'm all for it. Again, listen, people, like you said, people have their own agendas. I get it. If you're upset, you've grown up, your entire life knowing that Ariel was white and now she's not. So I get where your frustration comes from, but why don't you just give it a chance first? Why don't you
see that? That's always our biggest thing. Hold
on 1 second. Like, just give it a chance because as a minority, we've given white actors and actresses plenty of chances to play minorities in movies. Yes. We've given them plenty of chances to. I've watched Johnny Depp play Tonto. Like I've seen a bunch of, again, I can go down the list and I've seen people go down the list of white actors and white actresses playing different ethnicities and no one even batted an eye. So if we can, allow it, then you can allow it for this. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I think because during those times, like I can guarantee there might have been eyes batted that people probably complained about it, but there was not enough of a movement as to what's going on right now to where like people can actually voice their opinion and say, hey, you know what? This isn't fair. You know, give more diversity to characters. And then these organizations or these film studios, they're like, shit, dude, that's a lot of people talking. We have to change up. You know, we have to be different now. So I think that just in the time that we're in, it gives a lot of opportunity for them to do this. Yeah, dude, Sean Connery playing the Spaniard.
That's what I'm saying. Like this has been going on since the beginning of movies, and I don't understand the backlash or just the outcry. But I mean, it is what it is. I think this movie is going to make a lot of money. I think I said it last week. I think from just from the way that it looks, this is going to, at the very least, I think it's going to be probably the biggest live action Disney movie money wise. So whoever has a problem with it, you're going to be even more mad if, Robert Downey Jr. playing a fucking black guy in Tropic Thunder. You know what I'm saying? So
Brian, I have to ask Brian, because you're casually a little bit more darker than I am. How did you feel about Robert Downey's Tropic Thunder performance?
The way that they did it,
because to me that was like, that was so
the
wild.
way that they did it, it was wild. It was very wild. And honestly, in the beginning, I did have a problem with it. But then I saw Tropic Thunder, and it kind of made it, I don't want to say it made sense, but it just is what it is. Tropic Thunder really isn't a good movie to me. I've seen it once. I don't really
enough. Like,
I don't find it funny. Yeah, I don't find it funny. So it's never a movie that I have to worry about anyway. So
yeah, it's one of those things. Like, I never liked many of the. I mean, the only time I liked Ben Stiller, like, to tell you the truth, was Zoolander. Like, Zoolander to me was probably his best performance, if not Dodgeball.
Yeah,
like those two films. Other than that, like Tropic Thunder, I hated like that whole cast. But that's the same thing with like Superbad and like most of those guys. I really don't like their types of comedy too much. So yeah, those never really correlate. I've just never had the opportunity to ask you about that film, and I've always wanted to. So, because for me, it's one of those things. Like when I saw it, I was like, dude, this is fucking wild, bro. I don't even know how they let this shit go through, dude. Night at the Museum was It was fun, but it was like not as funny as Dodgeball, man. Fucking Dodgeball and Zoolander are the best, dude. But that's it for me and Ben Stiller. Yeah, but I think you're right, man. I think the Little Mermaid film is going to be making a lot of cash, man. They're getting a lot of advertisement right now. A lot of advertisement. They haven't even released like really like who the rest of the cast are. We don't know who the fucking Prince is. We don't know who fucking Sebastian is. We barely saw Flounder. Like, I think it's gonna be wild, man. Like the whole ride's gonna be wild. And then again, it's like we said before, like Disney, it's not like they haven't had hits when it comes to the live action films. So, you know, it is what it is. But let me ask you something like on the through and through, like, but are you a fan of like the race swapping of characters? Or are you kind of like, I mean, it's cool for a certain amount of it, but you don't have to do it all the time?
I don't mind it. I don't mind it because if the person that you're getting to play this character, if they are the best actor or actress to play the role, I don't care what color they are, unless you're doing like a movie about somebody. Like if you're doing a movie about a black person, I don't necessarily think it's cool for you to cast a white person.
Yeah, to cast someone else, right?
If you're doing a movie about a white person, I don't think it's necessarily appropriate for you to cast a black person. So if it's a fictional character, if it's from a comic book, if it's from a video game, if it's from just some made up shit, if the actor or actress is the best for the role, why not? Why not? Because I know a lot of people are going to be butthurt because they grew up reading the comics or watching the cartoons or whatever, but you'll get over it, especially if they're doing a great job. Like if they do a great job to portraying that specific character, why the fuck not?
I can see that. It's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Good. Okay, so what else do we got? Are we onwards to more things?
Yeah. No,
it's gonna be great. I'm not too disappointed in it or anything like that. I don't have anything to be disappointed with. This is a trailer.
It's just a trailer.
Look up into the air and sing a little bit, and I was like, "Hey, this lady can sing. Good job, shit. I'm glad she can sing at least, man." So I really don't have any disappointing parts. I mean, I guess it was a surprise. It's not like we didn't know she was going to be a black actress. They talked about it like last year. You know what I mean? Like, so
we've known, yes,
been
and that's another thing. We've known about this for
like it's
literally
not
a
nothing
whole
new.
fucking
Like
year. Like
that's
that's
what
the
tripped me out. Like
weird
everyone freaked the fuck out, and I was like, "Wait, did
What
you guys not hear about
they
this
were,
last
they
year?"
were like Disney's like, wait, you thought we were joking about this?
Yeah,
Like
like I
we
didn't
weren't
that's what
joking
I didn't
about this. Like
understand.
we were literally gonna do this. Like we
Um,
told you we were gonna do this. But
yeah,
yes, onward to bigger things. We have
yeah,
listen, dude. We could probably be talking about this shit all fucking night, but we have bigger fish to fry
we got a
today.
lot of stuff
And
going on.
ladies and gentlemen in the comments, it is that time to talk about Saturday edition of D23, Saturday and Sunday edition of D23. I want to know what you guys are looking forward to, what blew your fucking tops off. Sir, lead us into what we did not catch at D23.
So there's some really, really interesting trailers that were dropped. A lot of information that was dropped for Disney and upcoming projects. Of course, they talked about some Star Wars stuff. They talked about some Marvel stuff. They dropped some cool rosters for the Thunderbolts trailer and all the other things coming in. They had a Marvel trailer release. They had some really cool trailers that they haven't released to the public yet, which I'm super disappointed with. Because there was one thing that kind of caught my eye, and I was like, man, Brian's going to love this.
Yep.
So they had a drop for Captain Marvel, the Marvels movie coming out.
Yes.
And we all assumed after watching Kamala Khan, oh, she rotated with Carol Danvers. That means wherever Kamala is where Carol Danvers was. But apparently in the trailer that they released, all three, Monica Rambeau, Carol Danvers, and Kamala Khan all switched positions. So it's all three of them that are kind of like switching between each other. Which I'm a comic book dude. Like I know shit, and I have no idea how to explain what's going on between each one of those people. Because I don't know how their powers correlate with each other, other than they all have to be some Kree engineering, right? So, like, of course, we talked about the idea of Kamala Khan's braces or bangles being a Kree weapon, right? Like something that used to belong to the Kree now is on Earth. But how does it correlate with Monica Rambeau's powers when she got them from Wanda? So, like, the way the trailer explained it is Kamala switched with Carol. Carol switched with Monica, and Monica switched with
Carol switched with Miss Marvel
Kamala Khan.
and Kamala Khan. And Kamala Khan switched with Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, there you go. And I was real like, what the fuck? Like, how do they even like? How are they gonna play this? So
wait, no, I'm lying. No, Monica Rambeau switched with Carol Danvers. Carol Danvers switched with Kamala Khan, and Kamala Khan went to where Monica Rambeau.
It's so weird. Like to put three people, it's so much harder to understand. But I got this vibe that we're gonna get a really cool like triple threat movie while all three of these people coming together and understanding what it is to be Miss Marvel. And I think it's cool because you have, of course, Monica Rambeau, which in the comic book was the original Captain Marvel. You know what I mean? So her stepping into this role kind of gives you the idea like that her mother should have been the original Captain Marvel and that she's kind of learning how to be that hero character. And then, of course, you have, Kamala Khan, who idolizes Miss Marvel, but doesn't know what it's like to be the hero yet. So I think it's going to be a good film, man. I'm really excited to see where they're going to take it.
So hold on one second, just to give a little bit more of a backdrop on this. So what we didn't see is that they did show a clip of the show. And what it does show is just that, in fact, Monica Rambeau, at the time when at the end of Miss Marvel, when Kamala Khan is just switches with Carol Danvers, it seems as though Carol Danvers at that time was in the middle of a war with some type of Kree confrontation. And then that's where Monica Rambeau ends up in the middle of this Kree confrontation. And then at the time, Monica Rambeau is on the Sword ship with Nick Fury on some type of mission. That's where Kamala Khan ends up, and Carol Danvers ends up in Kamala Khan's house. And so there's supposed to be some type of interaction that the people at D23 saw, where there's some type of communication with Carol Danvers and Monica Rambeau with Kamala Khan's family, and they're trying to figure out what to do from there. So it looks pretty interesting.
I'm super excited to see Brie Larson interact with like Kamala's parents, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It sounds pretty dope. Yeah, so that's
I'm pretty
exactly
excited.
that's where the clip ended. So it looks pretty
I
interesting.
think what's probably going to be even funnier is watching Kamala Khan interact with Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Apparently there in this clip, when she winds up in whatever space suit or whatever the fuck that she's in while she's out doing like the space thing,
yeah.
she turns around to look at Nick Fury and she like taps on the glass and starts waving at him. It's pretty cool. It's pretty funny.
I'm kind of excited because the thing is like I don't know if you've ever been like a big fan of the animated series, but they do have the Ultimate Spider-Man comic, which has Spider-Man learning to be a Shield agent from Nick Fury in a lot of the series, which has Iron Fist, Kamala Khan. I think she's come out like 1 or 2 episodes with Squirrel Girl. But it's just so cool to watch like an adolescent teenage character like interact with like these uber serious characters. So I've always found that to be like a really, really good. That was like what Spider-Man interacting with Doctor Strange, like for the first time in the Avengers film, like just how corny funny it was. Oh, we're using our made-up names. Oh, I'm Spider-Man. Like just a little kind of like tropey comedy. Like for me, that's really good family style, like adult humor. And it hits really well for me. So that's kind of like one of the major things that I'm excited for, to see like the interaction between like Kamala Khan and the more serious characters, being that her story was based on like a teenage audience, you know, a very younger comedy scene, a very like teeny bopper show. So to see her interact with like, especially seeing the trailer for Secret Invasion, which we're going to watch in a little bit, the way that one looks is, oh man, dude, like I'm super excited about that one, but we're definitely going to be checking out that one. I do want to touch base on what Robert said earlier when he said, but we didn't get any X-Men or Fantastic Four that's coming up. Yeah, like I think today or yesterday I heard that they're not going to be using the dude from the Illuminati series or the Illuminati part of Doctor Strange. Like he's like out of the Fantastic Four casting, because he had still been in kind of like talks. Like they were still kind of up in the air. But I just think it's way too early for people to be, for any of these news sites to be claiming that they know who's going to be the actor or whatnot. So I think it's way too early. And of course, I think we were talking about this in the podcast chat, and we were talking about that the characters still are under some kind of scrutiny with contracts. Is that what it was for the X-Men?
Yeah. So apparently, they a lot of the original cast of the X-Men, when they signed their contracts with Fox, they had some type of like ironclad part of their contract saying that if anything were to happen, they would still be the ones as that character. So as of right now, Kevin Feige and Marvel are kind of like handcuffed to these actors and actresses until 2025. So for the next 3 years, if they want to do something with, you know, I guess Jean Grey, they have to use that actress from the last X-Men movie from Fox. Like you cannot, and there's some way where they can't just buy them out of their contract either. So it's like,
Damn,
if you're looking for, it's getting into like the unions and, you know, laws and shit like that. So Marvel is kind of handcuffed which X-Men characters they can and can't use. So if you're looking for and that's a reason why the upcoming movie is called The Mutants, because it's not going to be an X-Men movie.
Yeah, it can't be yet.
It can't be yet. So if you're
Do
waiting
you think
for
that might be that unnamed film that Marvel's pushing around right now? They just pushed back.
I don't know. It could be. But I do know that you won't be getting an X-Men, like a title movie called The X-Men anytime soon, or at least until 2025. So sorry to
I mean, that makes more sense. Yeah, Robert just put that's why Evan Peters came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so like if you want to use Quicksilver, you're gonna have to use Evan Peters. Like
but they can still use the one from the Avengers though. But like
yeah, they could, but
they
they fucked around and killed him off.
Yeah.
So it's like that would be tough to do. So yeah.
Vince is like, I want to see Chris play the Thing in the new Fantastic Four movie. I don't know if they want to go that extreme. I don't know if they want to go that extreme and race swapping him into me. I think he's like Jewish. He even has a Jewish wedding. So I'm not very Jewish, man. So that one's a little bit more cultural sensitive, I guess you could say. But it's cool. I love the Thing. I think he's one of the best characters in the Marvel universe. You're very underutilized until he fights the Hulk. Dude, it fucking better not be Seth Green, man. They better not choose Seth Green for the thing. I'd be so disappointed if they chose Seth Green.
Seth Green or Seth Rogen?
Rogen, yeah, Seth Rogen. I'd be so Seth Green would be cool from the fucking what is it? Not Future, Family Guy.
Robot Chicken, yeah,
Family Guy. But yeah, Seth Rogen, nah, man, I'd be super disappointed if they chose him for the thing. Who would be your cast for Fantastic Four? Do you have anybody on the top of your mind?
On the spot, not really. I'm not a really big Fantastic Four person. I've seen, I guess my favorite iteration of Fantastic Four, like live action, would probably be, I guess, the original one with
The Fox one.
The Fox one.
Okay.
Everything else after that was kind of trash. So
it was harsh. Yeah, it was pretty hard.
Pretty bad.
We should have like an episode where we talk about like our fan casting. We should fan cast with the crowd in the comments and shit and see what we can come up with. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, we should totally do it. Yeah,
most def. For the thing, I think Michael Chiklis is still my choice. The guy who played the thing in the original one did such a great job.
Yeah,
he did such an amazing job. But yeah, onwards onto better things. We got D23 trailers that we're going to be checking out, guys. Just a couple of them. I know that there was a lot. We're going to pass on a lot of the stuff that isn't like the comic based stuff. Cause I mean, yes, we know that they dropped the Willow trailer. They dropped Disenchanted 2. I like Disenchanted 2, but we're not really, it's not really like my forte either about, claiming that on nerd stuff. I don't want people to know I'm into Disney cartoons and princesses and stuff. Did you ever see the Disenchanted movies?
No.
You had to. Did you have a daughter, dude?
That doesn't mean I have to see it. Like there's certain things. No, there's she's
tea time too, man. You better be doing tea time.
No, she's too she wasn't into it. So if she's not into it, I don't have to be. Yeah.
Oh dang. That's crazy. I was into that movie. But then again, I liked, what was that fucking TV show that they had for a while? Ever After? Was that show?
I don't know because I don't watch it. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Brian. What are you talking about, man?
I'm lame because I don't know a Disney fucking teenager fucking. I don't know what that is.
No, they had this show and I forgot what it's called. But it was like it was based on a lot of like the Disney princesses and the villains and all that stuff. But it was like a sitcom, like an actual TV show.
Okay.
And it was pretty good. The one that I really, really enjoyed was
tell me which one
Peter
did you really
Pan
enjoy?
Story.
Okay.
Because they changed it to where like Peter Pan's shadow was like like an evil menacing thing. And he would go around and like kidnap kids like in the middle of the night.
This is in the show?
Yeah, it's really it's more of like a more matured storytelling of the series. Like it's not like all, fucking unicorns and rainbows. It's like, dealing with like drama.
Gotcha.
I thought it was really cool. I just forgot the name of that thing. I want to say it's like Enchanted or something. I don't know. But onwards into cooler shit. So we got trailers that we're going to be checking out with you guys. Kind of sit back and chill out with us. Really excited to watch these with you. The first one, it's going to be like a what'd you call this? Like like me sharing something that I'm a personal fan of. I told Brian I wanted to watch this, and he's like, "Go ahead. I don't really care, man. I don't watch that shit." But I'm a big fan of Percy Jackson. I'm a big fan of Greek mythology, and I wanted to check this out. I hadn't seen the trailer yet. I want to see what they're going to do, and I'm really excited that they're getting a return back.
In the comments, I want to know 1 through 10. Where's your anticipation of Percy Jackson in this movie?
Yeah, if you guys were a fan of the original films, if you guys read the books or anything like that, let us know in the comments. Let's check this out together, man. Let's see. It already looks great. No, I'm just kidding. 10 out of 10. Fucking tree looks amazing.
Being a half-blood is dangerous. It's scary. Most of the time, it gets you killed. If you think you might be one of us, my advice is...
So he's a half-god, right?
Yeah, they're
believe whatever
half-bloods.
Your mom or dad told you about your birth. Try to live a normal life. Because once you know what you are...
Why is he still a kid?
You'll sense it too.
It's supposed to be a retelling of the story. They're going to start him younger. Which I was a big fan of the cast in the original film.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Bet. Okay. Cool. And it's going to be a series, which is good. I think it deserves to be a series. I mean, it's just a teaser trailer, nothing too crazy. Can't really say that's all that amazing.
Dude, don't tell me you're watching that show and I have to come in here every week and report on that
No,
show.
you don't gotta watch it. I'll watch it and I'll let people know my opinions on it because, like I said,
cool.
I just really like the way that they did their storytelling. They approached the story of what's his name, Percy Jackson, right? Or Percy, what's his fucking Persephone? Not Persephone. What does Percy Jackson say? Percy Jackson, Greek mythology. He was based on one of the other characters. I just can't remember off the top of my head.
All right, but so they're telling me that they're gonna do this is gonna be like a prequel. Is that what's supposed to be happening?
No, this is supposed to be a retelling of the story of Percy Jackson. Like it's almost like the beginning entry of the Lightning Thief.
Okay, so
like
it's a
the first
it's a
movie
reboot. It's a
Yeah,
reboot.
it's like a reboot. Yeah, well, it is a reboot. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a reboot. Okay, all right,
And that's
cool.
why they're kind of like bringing him back to like being like. I think it's good that they're starting him off younger, because in the stories he was a lot younger. He was like in his 13s, maybe 14. Where in the movie he was kind of like 17, 18. So like for them to bring it, it's kind of like it's supposed to have like Harry Potter vibes.
Okay.
So cool. Looks pretty good. I mean, I can't really do much off of what they gave us, but not too bad. Not too bad. What do you think?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's ass. I'm not saying this because you know what it is. It's not even that much of a trailer. Except for me to say one way or another. I'm just saying it's not gonna be on my like my list of to do things of things to watch. But listen, if you tell me it's good, maybe just as like a 10% chance, I will at least say there's a 10% chance that I may watch that show.
By chance, did you ever get to see the movies?
No.
You know, you never saw the movies either?
I know that Brandon Jackson is in it, and I like him as an actor, but he wasn't good enough for me to watch that movie or any of those movies. No.
The first movie's pretty good. The second one's kind of, I don't know what it was. It was kind of lackluster. It kind of felt like they filmed it like in only a couple of locations.
You know what it is, bro? I'm not really big into Greek mythology.
Really?
When I went, because I had in my English class, we went through not English, but my history class, whatever class that was. We went through the whole Greek mythology, and it just didn't appeal to me. Like it's a bunch of weird shit going on, a bunch of fucking incest and shit like that, and it just kind of like turned me off to the whole fucking thing. So like I don't know, maybe it's just whenever I hear something about like Greek mythology, I just completely shut down. Like I'm just
it's like a psychological thing.
Yeah,
it's like something that didn't interest you.
Listen, Poseidon was cool. He was my favorite. I like Poseidon. But he probably
he's probably like one of the meanest gods ever. Man.
Yeah, I liked him because he was badass, but he did some weird shit. But other than that, like I really couldn't do it.
The Greek mythology thing has always been, it's always catered to me because I'm just into comic books and heroes and all this stuff, and that being something that was taught as history kind of fascinated me.
Yeah,
where it was so like fucking out of this world when it came to like compared to us, our history's always been like, yo, we bombed some people, we hurt a lot of other people, a lot of people don't like us, but yet we're the heroes or some shit. Like, and then
I think I'm the complete opposite. Like you can't tell me that like our real history is not more interesting than some made up shit. Like I love like the fantasy aspect of like you know, the mythology and shit like that. Mm-hmm. But dude, give me some American history where, you know, people did some fucked up shit. Give me a documentary about that shit, and I'm gonna want to watch that.
Dude, I have to ask
any day of the week.
I have to ask: are you championing or digging this this Dahmer show?
Hell yeah,
dude! I am not about that life, dude.
Why?
Because that was a fucking horrible person, and I don't want to be like over sexualizing these like crazy characters or whatever. I'm not about that.
Over
like,
sexualizing.
They always try to make him like these weird, like it's always like an intimate aspect of all of these people. They choose like all of the randomest, like dude, Zac Efron played the fucking that killer, the last one. He's
Ted
like
Bundy. Did you watch it?
No, fuck no. I'm gonna watch that shit. I'm not gonna.
Dude, that shit was
I am not
fucking
gonna cater.
amazing. That shit was
I'm not
fucking
gonna
amazing.
cater to romanticizing like homicidal killers in real
But
life.
you'll watch fucking Percy Jackson about some made up fucking shit instead of some fucking
that's
great
fantasy.
fucking movie. So listen, I'm not even a Zac Efron fan. Like fuck him, but he played the shit out of Ted Bundy, bro. That movie was fucking amazing.
I don't know, man.
Bro.
It's just one of those things. Like with how crazy our society has gotten in the last several years. Like having this ideal that we romanticize or idolize by putting like these characters on the big screen and making them like uber amazing. There's people that are like hearting, like, oh my god, I hope this guy fucking, what's that, the actor's guy that's playing Dahmer, the dude we just talked about him. He's just the fucking dude from Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh man, he could fucking take a bite out of me," and it's like, dude, no, wait, don't say that. That's like some real life shit here, man. Like, don't get into this idea because like there's psychologically there has to be some fucking wild, crazy ass motherfucker out there that's watching the comment section of these.
You train people to beat the
fuck
shit,
out of people,
to beat
like
the
this
shit
every
out
day.
of people, and this is cringe to you.
Yeah, dude. Last week
Make that make sense to me, yo.
Yo, last week we had a guy came in that claimed that he had like 30 something fights, 4 belts, and was like, yo, give me your best guy. And everybody beat the fuck out of him for 4 days straight. And no one felt sorry for him. They laughed every time on the way out. And you know what I did? Like every time he came in, I was like, hey man, like I gave him his stuff and I was like, hey man, I'm sorry, but like maybe you approach this the wrong way. Like you're trying to claim to be like this testosterone driven dude that's like the alpha male, and you walked into a gym full of fucking alpha males. What did you expect to happen? Like, but that's on another whim, right?
Listen,
you give me
a movie, or you give me a really good written series about it. First off, it's just something wired in me where I'm just fascinated by serial killers. Like
I think that's what it is. I think it's just the fascination of these people because you're not the only one. I know everyone I know is like super excited about this shit, and I'm just out of the loop with it. Like, because I just remember watching the news. I remember watching like the people that talked about their family members that had been murdered by this guy, and
dude,
just
you
the
were like
heartache.
you were like 5 years old, bro.
No, Jeffrey Dahmer. No,
it was in the 80s.
Like in high school, dude.
That was you were in high school when Jeffrey Dahmer was fucking killing people. I'm calling bullshit on that.
1991. Span of crimes went all the way from 78 to 1991. I was in 8th grade, 7th grade. Same thing with you. You were like in 7th or 8th grade.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and I don't like I do. I
remember that shit.
I remember people talking about it. But I don't remember.
But then again, I also remember
being, like, in depth about it.
But then, I mean, I even talked to you about that one the last time here that happened in Matamoros with not Jeffrey Dahmer, but Mark Kilroy. When I was in elementary, they kidnapped this dude that was going to UT Brownsville, and they fucking did like a big satanic ritual on him, and they fucking melted his body in a fucking barrel full of oil. And like, did you ever hear about that? No, I mean, but you're not from a region.
Yeah, no, as I'm saying, this guy Jeffrey Dahmer is a national, like he is a household name. So no, I don't know about the guy you're talking about in some really weird part of the world, not weird part of the world, but like
no, it's fucking weird.
This is like national. This was national fucking news, dude. Mm-hmm. Like so, and again, it's I don't know if it's. I guess it is romanticizing something that was awful. But it's just something that's wired in people like me, and it's something that I'm looking forward to. Like I'm more interested in the human aspect of the world and learning about how fucked up people can fucking be, and just how dumb police people can be back then, and like all of that intertwining together to make just a really, because like you said, I don't want to say like I know a lot about Jeffrey Dahmer, but I know enough to know that he was just on a spree, dude. Like he just didn't give a fuck at one point. And the fact that he just got, and the only reason why he got caught was because he was being careless, which is scary as fuck to me.
He just got out of hand. He just
got out of hand. Yeah. So like it's wild.
He got, I guess he just got overtaken by his own emotions on how he was just getting away with things. I don't know. It's super weird. I understand the story and I do remember it vaguely. I remember it, but I do understand and I do remember a lot of his stuff. I knew that he had been mentioned in another film, and I want to say it's like Hannibal. What Silence of the Lambs was kind of based on the Jeffrey Dahmer situation, where he's like feeding people like parts of their brains and shit like that at dinner, and like all this other stuff. So, I saw it today and I was like, oh fuck, dude, not again, dude, not another one of these fucking movies. But
all right, well, I don't want to give you any more trauma. We can get off of Jeffrey Dahmer. We can proceed back into.
I brought it up because I knew you were gonna like.
No,
that
but
shit.
you just sound like you're about to be sick and shit, and I don't want you to fucking have any trauma and shit.
I've seen some weird shit myself, but yeah, but look, even Robert casually remembers the Mark Kilroy situation was scary as shit. So what happened was there was a guy that went on spring break with a couple of his friends and a girl he had met at the University of Brownsville, and then while they were in Matamoros, Mexico, which is the connecting bridge to Mexico in Brownsville. So he leaves one of the bars down there and then goes back because he needs to use the restroom, and they never fucking see him again. They never fucking see his friends. So weeks pass, months pass. They finally start this huge investigations with the federales in Mexico. They bust these two like little Mexican dudes that are working outside who are connected to like the curandera, like black witchcraft of Mexico. And at first they're kind of like, nah, Santa Muerta is going to protect us. And the fucking agent pulled an Uzi out on him and shot the ground in front of him. It was like, if you don't fucking tell me right now, I'm going to make sure I don't miss the next one. And the guys were like, okay, cool. We'll take you to where we know that they're at. And he takes them to like this. He takes the cops, the police officers. They're both handcuffed. Takes them to like this little shed that's like the size of a basketball court. Like the ranch area that's fenced in with a little, like a small little, like a fucking broom shed or where you put your lawnmower. And the guy was like, oh, okay, well, where's the kid buried? And the fucking guy goes, well, which one? Like, which kid are you talking about? And they fucking found like I'm probably over exaggerating, or maybe I'm into exaggerating, but they found like 20 bodies like buried in this one little ranch area.
Jesus.
And it was just what they were doing was they were kidnapping kids and people for some famous witchcraft doctor from California who practiced this like black magic that was like, if you wanted better eyesight, they would kidnap a kid and kill him and take his eyeballs. You know what I mean? And then prey upon his eyeballs. It was so fucking, it was, you look like George knows. George is telling you right now. And it was, I was in elementary at the time, and my dad, my dad's a genealogist. He used to do like historical stuff for Mexico and people's families and history stuff. And my dad came to my school and was like, he picked me and my brother up like real quick. And he's like, no, you guys aren't going to school this week. Like it was that crazy. And we weren't even close to we're like fucking 40 minutes from Brownsville just to get into Brownsville. Yeah, we're fucking long ways, but like it was one of the scariest situations, like as a murder story down here in South Texas. Yeah, look, he's like, born in Mexico. I know to never mess with a local shaman, my boy. Yeah, it's true. And it's crazy how like fucking cowboys and Indians, it's over there sometimes. But that was in the 80s, man. Like that was even a lot more worse than it is now. It's a lot more cowboys and Indians over there at that time. And then they ended up, they went into the shed and they found this like, dude, I don't even know how to explain it. A pot, like just a big ass drum, like an oil drum, full of like bones and skulls and parts, and they were like, "Oh, I think that's him right there." And that's all the fucking federale guy got. Like he's like, "Oh, there he is right there." You know what I mean? And it's just chunks of people, dude. Like just chunks of people. It was fucking nuts, dude. The Kilroy came to speak at my school. Oh shit, when I was in middle school. Oh man, that's wild. Yeah, because they're from down here. Yeah, that makes sense. That's wild, man. Yeah, I guess it's just one of those things. Like I've never really been a big fan of people like building. I'm sorry, like I gotta take it back, Brian. We went on a fucking history lesson there a while. I'm never a big fan of that stuff, but same thing. Like I didn't get into Dexter or anything like that. But
yeah,
when it comes out, if you watch it, I'll watch it.
I'm watching it. So
Okay,
I
then I'll
mean,
watch
I'm
it. I'll
just
check it
letting you
out
know right
too.
now. I'm watching that shit.
Yeah,
Like that shit.
you're like, I'm gonna watch it even more now, Chris. You
I'm
sold it,
watching
man.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, you
nah,
sold that shit to me, Chris. I'm definitely gonna watch it now. Fuck yeah, I'm
I'm
gonna watch
watching
it.
that shit. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'm probably not gonna be all hyped. But
Listen,
I'll watch
don't make yourself sick watching the shit. Like it's
I
gonna
don't know.
like
It doesn't make me sick. It's just one of those things. Like it's more like I don't know. There's like a part of me that just like you don't ever want something like that to happen to someone, and to know that that's like an actual historical event that actually happened. That's I guess it's just sad. Like it's just sad to know. But yeah.
Well, speaking of sad, before we go on to
Mhm.
another, I've been waiting the last 10 minutes to figure out how to transition out of that fucking story.
Just to be like segue.
So sad. A lot of people are sad about another thing that happened at D23 is that the lineup for the Thunderbolts came out, sir.
Oh, that's right. Fuck.
And a
you,
lot of people are sad, not for the people that are there, but for the fact that there's some people that aren't there.
Yeah.
So would you like are you familiar with the lineup that they have
Yeah,
coming out?
I know that it's going to be a lot of the Black Widow family, Taskmaster, Ghost, U.S. Agent, and Bucky, of course, and Red Guardian. I think the Red Guardian and Belovovich, the Black Widow girl, the
Correct.
sister.
Elena.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, that sounds like a really ragtag group of funny people coming together. You know what I mean? I'm kind of disappointed. I was really, really anticipating Baron Zemo. And of course, Abomination, which I'm guessing that's where a lot of people are saying. Because if I'm not mistaken, in the comic books, Baron Zemo is kind of like the guy who brought them together. And then he created this character named, I want to say like Commander V or something like that. It's like, it's almost like a fencing guy with a cape, with the American flag as a cape. Captain V. But maybe, just by maybe, he ends up being like a later part of the episode or whatnot. Because, of course, what's even more sadder in that is you're going to have the Thunderbolts without a Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah.
Which, of course, the passing of the gentleman that played Thunderbolt Ross, it happened during a little bit after the Black Widow movie. Of course, it's just life. So I'd like to see where we're going to go from here and see what they're going to do. It'd be cool if we got a Red Skull reference or a Red Hulk reference. Like in some way, because Red Skull is a big part of the Thunderbolts now. But of course, this could be a really great retelling of the characters and a big build. What about you? What do you think? I mean,
I like it. I like all the. I mean, minus Taskmaster. I think what they did to Taskmaster and the Black Widow, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. But other than that, and I did hear some rumors that this Taskmaster isn't actually going to be the same Taskmaster from the Black Widow movie. Yeah, so it's leaks out there. So if you guys want to look at the leaks, they kind of hint or who they think it could be. But I like it. I think this could be a redeeming movie for Ghost. I don't like the way she was utilized in Ant-Man.
Yeah.
I think that this could be a redemption movie for her. And honestly, this looks like it's just gonna be like Black Widow 2. I think like Yelena is going to be the front and center, and she's gonna have her ragtag team with her to get shit done. I am looking for Captain Agent, right? That's his name.
Oh, U.S. Agent.
U.S. Agent, yeah.
Close enough. Captain Agent works too.
I was close. I liked him in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yo, you know what? As a matter of fact, bringing that part up, I am disappointed that Bucky is here.
Why is that?
Like, I would have rather had liked to have seen Bucky, which I hope they do in some way, like utilize him in the Black Panther movie, rather than him in Thunderbolts, because they already have a bunch of people that are like Bucky's in there, like U.S. Agent and Bucky. Like, it's kind of.
But they have a history. No, but it's not lame because they have a history. They just went through a whole like series together in Falcon and Winter Soldier. So there's like a rapport there. There's like a connection there.
Yeah,
so
they
like
have something.
If you had U.S. Agent in here, he has no connection with anybody else in this lineup. But now that you put Bucky in it, there's the connection there. There's a connection with everyone here. With Yelena, actually, except for Ghost. Ghost is the only one that really doesn't have a connection with anybody
he
here.
doesn't have a connection with anybody.
Well, she. But like, that's the only person that doesn't have a connection here with anybody. Everyone else is like a 7 degrees of Yelena here. So it's pretty. I think it fucking works.
I just think that Bucky, I would have rather had seen Baron Zemo instead of Bucky.
Well, we haven't seen the show, so we don't know.
We don't really know what
whether or
do
not we don't know if Baron Zemo isn't in the show. He's just not part of the team. Yeah, he's just not part of the poster. So I mean, I'm pretty sure. I would hope that we would get some type of a Baron Zemo because we don't know where he is. He's out there in the world, and where else would he show up besides this show?
Vince. Vince. Vince is like, yo, we can get a Bucky and Yelena relationship. Bucky is kind of a cradle robbing there, being that he's like 300 years old almost. So let's hope Yelena finds a normal aged boyfriend at that time. Bucky's been around for a minute. In fact, I think he even had a relationship with Black Widow sometime in the past, which they didn't really expand on. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, the lineups. I mean, it's all right.
I like it.
But for me, the only thing is it doesn't look as enticing as the comic book, because the comic book has so many different variations of all the heroes, like different sizes and different genetic builds and just different tropes of different superheroes. This one, it kind of seems like it's a lot of them are almost like the same style minus Ghost's character. Like Ghost character is kind of like the only one that has an ability, which we don't even know how far that goes because Hank Pym's wife kind of cured her at the ending of Ant-Man. So we don't even know how far her powers go now in the sense of what she can and can't do.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of when I look at an all-star roster, like an NBA all-star team, and they have just a bunch of role players on an all-star team. You're they're gonna get waxed by the LeBron team, but then they end up shitting on the flashy team because they just do what they do well. And I think that's what we're gonna get in this movie. I think this is the perfect lineup of these are all kind of bruisers, to be honest with you. They all handle their business. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this movie. It looks fucking dope.
The only thing I hope is that they bring in something that kind of gives us more of a superhero style fight scenes rather than all just be a bunch of swingers. You know what I mean? A bunch of them do really wild martial arts, which is cool as fuck. But to have that one person that's Vision that can fucking shoot laser beams and fly, it's always cool to have that little variety instead of because I think what it is it's the A team of the superhero genre. It's just a bunch of corny dudes that have a bunch of one-liners, but they're shit one-liners. They're gonna say some stupid ass one-liners, but I'm excited still. I'm gonna watch the fuck out of it. Red Guardian's in it, and Red Guardian Enough was funny as fuck.
1000%.
Yeah, he was so funny. And of course, Yelena Belovovich or whatever, she was really funny in the Kate Bishop movie or TV show. She was hella funny. So yeah, I'm kind of excited. Like I said, I just hope that in some way they incorporate Baron Zemo and Abomination. I didn't like the way She-Hulk kind of ended Abominations, and then they didn't put him in the poster, but we'll have to see where it goes now. We'll have to see where it goes. And like I said, I hope Bucky doesn't stay a permanent member and that one of those characters ends up coming and supporting or replacing him. Because to me, I kind of feel with how they're handling the Black Panther movie and it being like they're going to do the memoriam for T'Challa, I feel the White Wolf should be there. Since he plays almost an iconic character in the history of the lore, he's almost I guess a general or something. You don't get a cool ass nickname unless you're something official in that community. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel the White Wolf should be there. So him, when T'Challa passes away and they're doing the ceremony, the White Wolf should be there. There people are saying that Storm should be there. And Storm hasn't even been introduced. But he if it wasn't if T'Challa's character wasn't detrimental in the replacement of Bucky's memories and helping him be better, he would never be the Bucky we have today. That's the only thing. I think that it's kind of not used correctly in this sense, but we'll see how it goes. And you got to remember, Baron Zemo is still in Wakanda. So right now, it's a weird switch.
Vince, I don't think anyone dies in this movie. I think if this does well, they're gonna have another one. And I don't think anyone dies in this. Maybe I think the most expendable, maybe Red. What's his name? Red Guardian. I think maybe him, but I don't know. I don't see anybody else.
Might do the Taskmaster and then bring in the villainous Taskmaster, the dude.
Yeah,
the one that's from the Spider-Man game and the comics and all this stuff. They might end up doing something like that because that character's kind of But I really think that this movie, Thunderbolts, is going to build into Captain America, into his story really crazy. Because if we look into the comic books, Thunderbolts, when they're taken over by Osborn, turns into Dark Reign, which is like this villainous team becoming the Avengers, right? And they all work under Shield, which gets turned into Hammer by Norman Osborn. What if they end up just removing that, saying that it's not Norman Osborn, but it's Hammer from Iron Man 2, the villain guy, the one with the glasses, the little scrawny dude?
Mm-hmm.
Justin Hammer, right? What if it's they bring in Justin Hammer and then he helps create Hammer since Shield is all torn apart, but then this brings in the Dark Reign, which is going to be Captain America New World Order. And then you have like just there's no Avengers to stop Captain America. I don't know, man. It sounds I'm kind of excited where this is going. I'm kind of excited, and it'll be explained later when we get into the trailer that I want to get into later. But for now, we still have some trailers that we need to catch up to on D23. Right now we do have a really cool one. I'm really excited about this. I don't think if you're a Star Wars fan, I don't see why you wouldn't be. It's going to be Tales of the Jedi. So let's check it out.
Everywhere there
10
is
out of 10.
life, must face
It's already Clone War
death.
good, man. It's Rebels good.
Honor it.
Oh shit.
Do
That
not
was
fear
a
it.
count. Oh. Boop.
Is that Ahsoka?
Yeah.
Ahsoka is Jedi.
The best way I can protect you is to teach you how to protect yourself.
Master Dooku.
I want to bring peace and order to the galaxy.
Yeah, right.
Master, stop!
Oh, it's a young Qui-Gon.
Yeah, yeah.
Victory.
My Padawan.
Oh wow. Oh, my dude, man.
Yes.
The Amethyst hero, dude.
This is gonna be dope.
I feel it. You already feel it, right?
Yeah.
Stand down.
It's gonna be like the make or break of Dooku, man. When he turns to the dark side. Oh, that's so good.
I've been warning them about the coming darkness. Let's hope all
Is it Darth Revan?
I think so. Look at
Holy
this.
shit.
And who might you be?
Oh, it's an Inquisitor. My bad. Wow.
Yeah. Sign me up.
Fucking hey, that looked good as shit.
Honestly, I didn't even see it. So I mean, before. So this is my first time watching it. It looks pretty fucking awesome.
Holy fuck, that looked good. Yo, this guy, this Inquisitor dude looked like something right out of like the Darth Revan series. Like that looks so fantastic. Look at that helmet, dude. So cool.
Hell yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, listen. Again, I didn't watch it. You know, before the trailer, that is, and it looks amazing.
I mean, and it
Kudos
looks
to
like
them.
it's
Kudos to
jumping
them.
between like historical parts because you're looking at it when it's like, is it going to be like a series or is it going to be? Oh, all 6 original shorts are streaming.
It's a 6-part short. Yeah.
6-part series. Oh, okay.
Yeah, man.
Dang.
And you
Okay,
know
so
what?
this
You
is-
know what? You know what? I'm actually happy because Star Wars didn't have a lot to offer at D23. So I'm glad that they had, you know, what they did come with. They
came hard, yeah.
They
That
came hard
sounds
with
pretty dirty.
what they had. So that's pretty cool.
They came hard. It looks good. I mean, of course, you can't beat the animation style from Rebels and the Clone Wars. Backstory for Count Dooku. We're gonna get some Mace Windu finally. Some Qui-Gon. Like, I'm excited. I'm excited to see these people in a younger race, a younger age, and see where they're gonna go from here. A little bit of backstory telling. We didn't get a Punisher in this movie. Which movie? Star Wars? I think he's talking about the Thunderbolts. Yeah, but sweet. How do we feel? Good? 10 out of 10? I'm down. I like it.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
1000%.
Yeah. All right, next one. Onwards to one of our personal favorites, Mando. So I don't know if we got to see this trailer, but this is the official trailer for The Mandalorian season 3. If we did see it, then bet we're gonna watch it again. This is possibly the biggest thing I'm excited for.
Easily.
Yeah, they've done such an amazing job with this series.
Of 2.
And this is one of the shows where I bended, at the knee. They were like, watch it, and I watched it.
You can't even put Boba Fett and The Mandalorian in the same category of television show.
No more.
It's fucking wild how like this one it looks like a movie, and that one looks like a fucking Saturday TV show. I am excited to see that come out.
Carl Weathers.
Yeah. Apollo Creed.
Where were you then?
Good question. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, the
whole other Mandos just coming out.
Yeah, like the whole suspense between both cultures.
Yeah, I love it.
That was the scientist from the first Mandalorian series, the one that was trying to kidnap Grogu.
Hang on. You ready for an adventure?
Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, I'm first in line. That looks really, that's so fucking good, man. Jesus. That's really good. I mean, so far the Mandalorian has not disappointed. Really excited to see that they're bringing it back, that we're getting a 3rd season. And man, it looks really good. I don't know what else they could do with the story, which makes it even a million times better, because since it's an original character and original telling, like they can go in any direction and it's amazing. Like they can go in any direction. That's what I love. This one, exactly what I'm telling you, where that focus, the focus that they have on the Mandalorian is the focus that they need to create characters, like better, cooler, newer characters in all different franchises. Like that's it right there. To tell you that it could do it, it's right there in front of us. The Mandalorian proves that they can get it done. It proves they can. They went back, they did Boba Fett, it sucked. They went back, they did Obi-Wan, it sucked. Why? Because they were like, oh, well, nostalgia, it sells. Oh, yeah, we bring those guys back, it's going to make money. But the Mandalorian shows us that they can do it. They can literally create new characters. You know what really made me mad throughout the entire Star Wars franchise is at the end they brought in this character named what was that chick's name? Captain Captain Phasma?
I know you're talking about, yeah.
And then they fucking dropped her in a tank of fire, and that was it. They were like, "Oh, cool, got her, bye." What was her story? What was her backstory? That was like a cool, like, why did she have silver armor? Why was it the only character in the whole entire series that ever had like a different color armor, which is very similar to the Mandalorian's armor? But like, what was her thing? Why not? I don't know. That's my thing. That is 100% my argument.
I'm trying to see if I could find how many episodes this new season is gonna be, if it says it anywhere. But I mean, it doesn't say it. But I'm assuming since the last season was 8 episodes, it's probably gonna be like around 8-9 episodes.
I can see that, about 8 or 9 episodes makes sense.
Which is good for me, because in the realm of these shows that are coming out with like 6 episodes, 4 episodes, it'll be good to have a show. And it seems like that's like Star Wars' things, where like I think Boba was like maybe like 6 or 7 or 9 episodes, and
yeah, it was like 8 or 9 episodes.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
looks
I'm
good.
down. Mandalorian, like I said, is just, it's on a whole other level from what they're making, and that's what I'm kind of hoping for the Andor story. Like, I mean, the Andor story looks beautiful. The trailer looks fucking gorgeous. So I don't know. Are we checking out Andor, or did we see that last week?
I think we talked about it last week or whatever. Yeah, we did. I'll watch it. Yeah, I'm not. I don't think my excitement level is like super big. So I guess my expectations are going to be low. So hopefully, at least that part can be met. But I'll watch it. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, for me, it's one of those things like I just don't. I mean, I understand the trailer explains that it's supposed to be I don't know, what is it? Like the birthplace of the rebels or whatever.
Yeah, and it's gonna basically show what the rebels in the beginning, at least, what they were willing to do to win their war. Yeah, exactly. And it's not gonna be some pretty stuff. It's gonna be some things because, like, you can tell, like, by the time we were introduced to Andor in why can I not remember the fucking movie that he was in? What's
Rogue One.
Rogue One? Yes. By the time that we see him there, you could tell he's fucked up. Like, he's done some weird shit. So, like, you're gonna be able to see exactly.
You get, like, a lot of that backstory, right?
You're gonna get a lot of backstory, exactly. Yep.
Let's check it out, man. I brought up the Andor trailer from 6 days ago, which I'm guessing was the one that they showed at D23. Let's check it out. I mean, in the cinematography already looks a million times better than the Boba Fett TV show.
Saboteurs. Assassins. We've all done terrible things on behalf of the rebellion.
Cassian Andor. Don't matter what you tell me or tell yourself. You'll ultimately die fighting these bastards. Wouldn't you rather give it all at once to something real?
We've chosen a side. We're fighting against the dark.
There is an organized rebel effort. Drill down and get a hunt started.
Oh, the Born Legacy.
People will suffer.
Time has come to force their hand.
At what cost?
Everything!
Every day we wait, they get stronger.
Let's take them by surprise.
For the greater good, call it what you will. Let's call it war. People are standing up. They're afraid. Right now, they're afraid.
Star Wars
Seen a TIE fighter?
Insert premiere streaming September 21st.
What do we think?
Yeah, it's next week. I mean, again, I don't know exactly
what to expect.
What to expect here, but I mean, again, I'm gonna watch it. Just give it. Well, number one, because there's not much to watch right now anyway. As far as Star Wars is concerned, so I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah, especially since we're getting this kind of content, and then at that level of cinematography is really good.
Yeah, it looks really good. Absolutely.
I'm telling you, like, it's so crazy. Like, comparing that, I mean, and I hate to say it, but like comparing that to what we got for like the Boba Fett and even the Obi-Wan series, like, it looks like a whole other Disney style film, like a whole Star Wars film, like a whole different vibe. So I'm kind of excited. I'm excited to get back to this like serious nature of Star Wars. That's what I like to see. So Andor looks like a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for me. Next trailer. Marvel has released this really great style of a trailer for a Halloween special that's going to be coming out called Werewolf by Night. Let's check it out. Have you seen this trailer?
Yes.
It's so crazy. Let's go. I love that. I love the colors.
This Halloween, you can't escape the shock, the terror of Werewolf by Night.
Tonight, it is every hunter for themselves.
Good luck. I'll be rotting for you.
But one of you is a monster, masquerading as one of our own. I can't wait to find out what breed of evil you are.
Like the old slasher films.
It's like a grindhouse type of movie. Definitely.
They can get away with a lot more gore because it's all black and white.
Sign me up.
Yeah, the burning of the film. Cool. I was hoping they were gonna do that. I don't know why.
1000%. Yeah.
Yo, what do we got?
Honestly, out of everything that was shown besides Mando, I'm
This.
looking forward to that one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one more than anything.
Yo, so we could agree. What is going on in this film? That's like a studio. That's so cool. My question is in this.
I mean, it lacks creativity. It's more of a like we've seen this movie
a
where
variety
it's like
show.
the Clue, where it's like no, it's like a Clue. You know, you're trapped in a room with a killer, and we have to find out who the killer is. It's not original, but I mean, the fact and listen, people underestimate how great you can pull something off in black and white, and the fact that they did that, yeah, they pulled that off. So yeah.
So is my question is, okay, is this a Doctor Doom reference?
What is?
The guy in the mask, metal mask. You think that's a Doctor Doom reference?
No.
I mean, I doubt it's going to be Doctor Doom. 100% doubt it's going to be Doctor Doom. But you think that might be a call like to, hey, look, ooh, a guy in a mask and Marvel with a cape.
No, I think that's
Could
reaching,
it be
bro.
Doctor Doom? Ooh. What about these guys? Not this guy. Those guys. Is this the TVA?
Is this the TVA?
Is that the TVA?
It looks like it. Yeah, they have the glowing sticks. I didn't recognize it in the beginning, but yeah, maybe it is.
When I had seen this trailer the first time, I was really like, yo, and of course we got Man Thing. Like, you better not know fear if you face Man Thing. So, but like these guys have almost the same stun batons as the TVA. Almost the same type of costumes, helmets, and everything. And if it's the TVA, could we consider this to be some kind of weird pocket dimension that all of these people have come to?
Yeah, it's a very, very big possibility. I didn't even catch it the first time that I watched it. But yeah, it looks good. Looks like that is a TVA, yeah.
Yeah. That's so cool. That Man Thing's in this. Man Thing's such an interesting character. So that's cool to see him. And he's so fast. Yeah, straight. Look at those batons, dude. And then what's this on the wall? It's like zombies or something?
Looks like whoever that is doing that to them is glitching, like from one place to the next.
The person in here, right?
Yeah.
And that's because I thought like he's like punching a hole through his chest. Oh yeah, yes. You see it? Look. He's punching a hole through his chest. But that's the thing. Look, okay, so he shocks him, and it just shocks him. Like there's lightning bolts that come out of it. Yeah, kind of like Spax.
Yeah.
And then of course he just wrecks everybody. And then yeah, you can see the TVA, their batons in the back or whatnot. But I don't. So we can kind of say that might be the TVA. If not, then it's just a bunch of random guards with like heavy security equipment and tasers.
Or it could just be, you know what? It could actually just be on wherever Loki took place. It could just be on that facility, just a different part, because it looked fucking huge.
Yeah,
and it was different. And there was different floors. Remember how they were going down the elevator? There's different floors. This could be on a separate. This could be on a separate floor. So yeah, I think this may connect to Loki.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I could totally go. I agree with that. And then Werewolf by Night, I talked about this before. It's such a weird niche character. It's even more weirder than Moon Knight, but we'll see how it goes. Gabe, what's up, Gabe? Good to see you in the comment section. He says it's like Eli Roth directed the film in the era of the Universal movie monsters. Yeah, I can see that. Ben says, sign me up. Man Thing looks dope. And yeah, maybe a Dune, a Star Wars crossover. I really doubt it, but there's a lot of sand and talk like that, Vince. Vince always got the cool questions. He always got the wild questions. This is a good show. It looks great. I can't wait to see it. Marvel's really brought it. I really didn't know how they were going to bring it when I first heard about it. So for us to get a trailer that looks like this, I really hope that it kind of like, I hope it's just not done this way to cut the trailer. Like, I hope that it's actually filmed in this format. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I feel like it might be like they're cutting it like ooh, and then like it's Halloween, they'll get it. And then like when we get the show, it's gonna be like a low-key show or whatever. But I kind of hope it kind of stays in this weird like black and white noir, old school slasher film kind of story. I kind of hope it stays that way. I think it'd be super creative.
I think it would just be a failed opportunity for them to not take advantage of keeping it in black and white the entire show. Yeah.
Yeah, that's straight. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Now, getting into the thing that I'm super excited for. This trailer caught my tremendously, and I hope it delivers. We have finally gotten a trailer for Secret Invasion, the series that's going to star Nick Fury and forefront him and dealing with the Korean or the Skrull invasion in Marvel Universe, based on a huge comic arc called The Secret Invasion. Are you guys excited? Let's get to this shit. Are you ready?
Ready.
Let's do it. I'm gonna raise it up a little bit on my side so that way I can hear it. Oh well, I'll use it up here. Got it. Such a G.
For years, you've been avoiding Earth. But I have called for your help plenty of other times, and you've been pretty content to let those calls go straight to voicemail.
Yeah, well, this is different. How much do you know about your security detail?
What do you mean, how much do I know about him?
Fury, we gotta be very careful now.
I like that actor too. The young guy
he's
sitting
really good.
down. No, the
Yeah.
guy sitting down. He
You're in no shape for this fight that lies before us.
This is just the beginning.
This is my war alone. And I'm the last person standing between them and what they really want. And what is that?
Yeah, I think that trailer all but confirms, to me anyway, that the Nick Fury we've seen basically in all of the movies and all of the shows, that's not the real Nick Fury.
No, fuck no, dude. This one's like super hard, dude. I'm super excited. This is
No,
like
but I mean like the Nick Fury we know from the MCU, that's not the real Nick Fury in
Like
any
at
of the
all, at all?
movies at all. I think right after the Captain Marvel shit, which happens before anything that we've seen in the MCU, he went to wherever the fuck he was, and that's where he's been. And the Nick Fury that we've gotten this entire time might have been a scroll.
But working with him or working like against him?
Working with them, not working
Okay.
against, working with them.
So you think like the way
I
that
think
it's
that's
been
what
kind of
I
like
think.
casually being there?
What's that?
Like the way that it's been in the films where the other Kree have been helping him or the other scrolls?
Yeah, I definitely think that he's been up in spaces this entire time, and that's why I think when Maria Hill goes, I've been calling you and it's been going straight to voicemail. I think that's been like since the beginning of time, since the beginning of us knowing Nick Fury.
Yeah,
He's
ever
just
since he
been up
faked
there.
his death. Well, so
Yeah.
you're thinking that even the one that faked his death was a scroll?
Might have been,
That's
could have
crazy.
been,
That's wild. Yeah, I could see that.
could have been. I just don't think that the Nick Fury that we've been seeing this entire time has been the real Nick Fury at all.
So I
think it's very interesting that when he comes down in that very first shot, that when he comes down and it's all distorted, it looks like an old school alien
character
picture. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that's very interesting. Like that's how they chose to show him.
Yeah, that's a good call. Like for me, it's one of those things. Like I think we've had Fury, and ever since he kind of like faked his death in Civil War, no, Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier, yeah.
Yeah, Winter Soldier. Ever since he faked his death, he knew about the Secret Invasion by then. because that's the way it was in the comics. He fakes his death and he disappears right before Secret Invasion, the arc starts.
But see, that's what I think. That's the reason why it's before that. Because, and again, it's just so frustrating because there was actually that trailer that we just saw wasn't the trailer that people saw at D23.
Really?
This trailer that we just saw was a shorter version of it.
Mhm.
There was an extended cut where that conversation where Fury was having with Rhodey
Mhm.
about how well do you know your security. Rhodey, and I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but people have already seen it and they've already been talking about it. But Rhodey acknowledges that he has already known about the Skrull invasion. He is well aware of it. He's known about it for like the past like 10, 15 years.
Well, what's crazy is, if I'm not mistaken, in the comic books, he's the guy that is the first Skrull. Like, he's already a Skrull. Rhodey is.
Okay.
So like, he was already like, at that time, he's the one that ends up getting busted by Nick Fury, I think.
Okay.
So
you mean the one that we first know is a Skrull? Like
he ends up calling him out, and he approaches Rhodey in the comics.
Okay.
And approaches him to be like, yo, I'm gonna bust you guys or whatever. And yeah, then it all goes awry. It's kind of like it's very much like Captain America 2, where you ended up having where Shield and Hydra was like interacted in Project Paperclip. It's very much in that kind of like that storytelling genre. But what we're gonna get is the thing is in the comic book there is this this Skrull king, and then there's the Skrull daughter, right? And the daughter of the king is like a religious chick, and then she gets banished off planet because she claims that eventually I feel like I have a bubble in my throat or something. That eventually the Skrull are going to be taken out by a planet eater and then a wave, right? And then she's banished for prophesizing like the destruction of their planet. And then lo and behold, what happens is the Annihilus wave shows up, which is this big conquering force in the cosmic entity, wipes out like 80% of the Skrulls. And then with whoever survives, the rest of their planet ends up getting demolished by Galactus. So once that happens, the king dies in the Galactus part. So all the rest of the Skrulls search out the princess and then make her the queen. And then in the comic book, she ends up coming out and saying, okay, well, I have another prophecy, and my prophecy is that Earth will be the place that we inhabit next. And then that's what starts the Secret Invasion. Later on, the Illuminati ends up learning about the Skrulls. They end up teleporting themselves to the Skrull ship, and they're like, yo, what's up? Don't come to Earth because the strongest people are here. And if you want these hands, I'll give you these hands. And the Skrull are like, bet. They just take them out, dissect them, take all their powers, and then send them back to Earth without their memories. And then they just never know that happens. And then the first Skrull wave that come in with the invasion are all the dudes that end up, getting screwed over real bad like that. So they end up using the powers of the Illuminati to kind of like take over the Earth for a little bit. It's a pretty interesting story. I don't know how they're going to come around doing it without all the characters that are necessary for the Secret Invasion story. But as you could see, like them changing it into like a Mission Impossible James Bond espionage film, that looks a lot more enticing to me. Because when they introduced the Skrulls, like they made it to where like the Skrulls were like in need of help. They were like immigrants. They needed like someone to help them be saved. And, the Earth came and saved them and helped them out as much as they can. Captain Marvel and Nick Fury. So when I first saw that, I was kind of like, wait a minute, like, so how they can do Secret Invasion if they're making all these people good? But then you end up making it to where like a small faction or like this like religious zealots that want to conquer the Earth. And Nick Fury in the comic books was originally known as the Man on the Wall, who was the first protector of the world before the Avengers. And he would go through any means necessary. So like if he would have seen this, it would have kind of caught on his radar. It would have turned into like a huge James Bond, hitman assassin story. And I'm so much happier that they're doing it this way. I kind of dig this more than the comic book way. How do you feel about it?
I'm looking forward to it. Again, I think we talked about it a little bit last week, of things to look forward to. And one of the things I did say was a Secret Invasion trailer, which we got. Um, again, you kind of pointed it out. I don't know how comic book accurate it's going to be because it literally involved almost every
Yeah,
superhero
it involves a lot of characters.
in the Marvel comic universe. So there's no way they're gonna be able to do that. But I do think they're going to cherry pick certain aspects of that storyline and put that on, in the show, which I'm anticipating. Anything you give me with Samuel L. Jackson, I'm
I'm
gonna
about it.
be
Yeah.
yeah, I'm about it just in general. But now you're gonna give me a little bit more of what I've always wanted, like, and a lot of people disagree with me. I've always wanted like a Nick Fury standalone movie. I think they could have, and you kind of pointed it out, like a Mission Impossible type of movie.
hmm
So I think that he is just now getting his just due. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it a lot. You've already touched on. I do think that this is going to revolve around the Scroll Queen. So you already touched on that. I think that's what the story is going to be about. And again, I have fun just looking at people's theories and what they think is going to happen, and it looks like it's going to be a good time.
Now, what's real cool about the Secret Invasion story is it comes to an end because of Deadpool. Like, Deadpool's the big leaning factor into how people stop the scrolls. Like, he ends up finding out, and then they try to like mimic what they're trying to do is they're trying to mimic superheroes. So then Deadpool gets them to mimic his powers, but they can't mimic his healing factor, and he gets a bunch of them to like kill themselves. So like it's silly as fuck, but he ends up getting them to like stab themselves or cut off an arm or do something. I can't remember what it is. He gets them to do some silly shit, and then that sparks the war. But going back to it, he ends up at the very end, like when the scrolls are all defeated, Norman Osborn, of course, revolving back to the Thunderbolts, he ends up taking the credit for ending the war, and that's how he takes the reins of S.H.I.E.L.D. away from Iron Man, because right now in the moment of Secret Wars, Iron Man is running S.H.I.E.L.D. like in the comic books, and then he fails. The country's like, yo, how can you let this happen on your watch? And then Norman Osborn, since he takes the credit for stopping the whole thing, he's kind of like, hey, well, I mean, I'm up for the challenge. And then he's in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. And then he ends up being in charge of Hammer. Then he ends up creating the Avengers team, which is a Dark Reign, which is close to the Thunderbolts. And then Siege happens, which is Norman Osborn wanting to conquer Asgard, which is a really cool story. So it looks like we're getting closer to this idea that we may end up getting a Siege film line, which is a really cool story. I don't know if you've ever had the opportunity to see that one or heard of that one.
We've talked about it like a
A
million
million times, right?
Yeah.
It's so good. So that one, but of course, like, I think if we go in that direction, we need to make sure that we have the Sentry, man. The Sentry, of course, plays a huge role, which is another version of Superman in the Marvel universe. But they just need to be careful on how many Supermen they add in. That was the last trailer for D23. Are there any other request trailers?
No, honestly, I think that was they did have, I was looking at it right now while you were talking. I don't see any other like big trailers. I know that they did come out with the cast for Ant-Man 3 which looks really good. I'm a huge Jonathan Majors fan, so I'm looking forward to that. But then they also there were speaking of Ant-Man, they did have leaks for what MODOK will look like in this movie. And they also played a trailer for Ant-Man during for the people that were in attendance. Have you heard about this trailer that they showed, sir?
No, not yet.
Okay, so they played a trailer which we talked about last week that I saw the leak trailer, and it looks pretty interesting. It looks like this is going to be like another heist type of movie where I'm not even sure how or when, but from the trailers and from what I've heard is that Kang he lost something and he needs Ant-Man to get it back. And I think from what I hear, that's where MODOK comes in. And I don't know if you saw the leaks of what MODOK looks like, but people have been losing their fucking minds about what he looks
Is it
like.
the purple face one?
Yeah, I think it's the purple face one. It's not really purple, it's gold. But he looks extremely weird.
It's like a robot, right? Like an android face or something.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I didn't know how they were gonna sell a big-headed creature to begin with, rather than make it like an android with a big head. So
People in the comments, have you guys seen this leak of the MODOK version that we're gonna get in Ant-Man? And tell me what you guys think, because it is very, very interesting on what he looks like.
how do you feel about it?
I'm not a really big MODOK fan, so I can care less.
It doesn't really bother you at all, right?
It doesn't bother me at all. I mean, it looks totally fucking different from what I know that he looks like in the comics.
Is it?
But
is
you
it
know
by
what? This could
chance
just
this
be
one?
this could be just the
Is it by
helmet
chance
that
that
he's
one?
wearing. Yeah, it's that one. That's the
Oh,
one.
okay.
That's the leak on what he looks like. And again, it could just be a helmet and it looks something completely different underneath. A lot of people are speculating that it's the actor that played Yellow Jacket in the original Ant-Man. He somehow Kang found him after he fell into the quantum realm and transformed him into this.
Okay.
And so that's what a lot of people are speculating. So
That's why he's like gold colored. Oh
yeah.
there it is. It's up here on the Marvel theories or whatever.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, so and a lot of people, the trailer that showed at D23 got a lot of good reviews saying that it looks interesting and looks really good. So if you haven't seen it, I'm pretty sure it's been taken down by now. But yeah, a lot of people have been talking about it. And again, that kind of like pisses me off. Like, I get it, like if you're in attendance, you get like special things, but like why not have like a paywall for certain people to have access to that? Like,
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Charge people like $20, $30, $50. People will be able to pay that and just sit on their couch and, you know, be able to have access to most of the things that these, because like what are the people that are there going to say to the people that weren't there? Like, oh, I saw this cool trailer, but I can't, you can't see it. Like that's dumb.
I've always thought, like, I mean, casually the same thing, but I've always thought it should be like they show it at these events and then the following week they release it. So it's like, hey, you know what?
But they're not even releasing it. But like, why would you not why would you not have a paywall for this? Like, just have a paywall. People are going. That's just extra revenue for people that can't, for whatever. Yeah, for whatever money. Yeah, a virtual convention. Like what? Like sometimes people just can't make it to the convention. Why not have a paywall? They'll pay and they can just watch it on their big screen at their house. Like that is so simple. And it won't make people feel excluded just because they can't make it, you know?
Do you think MODOK ends up being like that weird, silly character that he's always kind of casually been?
No, I think he's going to play a major. He may even still have those characteristics, but I think he's going to be a major. I think he is the focal point of Kang in this Ant-Man movie. So
like, what do you mean focal point?
Like, I think whatever Kang's deal is going to directly correlate to MODOK.
Okay.
And I don't think they're gonna bring, if now let's say the speculation is true and it is the character that was Yellow Jacket, I don't think they bring him back just for him to die or something in this movie. So I think moving forward, especially what's the guy we talked about last week that that's supposedly coming back, that's part of the Hulk
not Abomination. What are you talking about? Oh, Leader.
Yeah, so Leader and MODOK have a correlation. They're from like that sentient company or whatever. So like AIM. So yeah, so there's gonna be a connection there. If you want to go in an AIM direction, I can see MODOK being a huge factor moving forward in the MCU.
But what about the way that Marvel ends up, like how they handle with their villains? Like, how are we gonna do it with their villains? Like, they end up just killing them off and just treating them like shit.
Some of them, actually most of them. But I don't know. I don't see there's such an avenue there, especially, you know, why close off that avenue of telling an AIM story or going in a direction where AIM is a part of the MCU? Like, that's just an open avenue that they can just have at their disposal. I don't think that would be smart.
Okay. Good call. I mean, for what it is, I don't think Marvel's going to drop the ball on Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man has had these opportunities to build his character. I'm not a big fan of Ant-Man himself, but I know for sure I'm excited for Ant-Man episode or movie 3 because I think it's going to be a major focal point in the multiverse saga. And they really, really need to kind of focus on that, like that end game style of storytelling to really captivate everybody, like right as soon as it comes through. Like right out of the reins, it needs to kind of captivate. Because if not, it's going to be bad. So if they end up bringing in like this weird comedy slapstick MODOK, it's going to really, really fall flat. I think the comedy, of course, needs to be kind of pulled back a little bit. I think Scott Lang himself is a pretty funny guy. So with him as the comedy, but him dealing with all these characters that are super cynical and strong around him, I think it's going to be a really cool storytelling. That's me.
But see, like that's it. But that's the thing that's the thing that works, right? Is that he is such a dramatic, just difference. There's such a big difference between his character and his characteristics as opposed to everybody else around him.
Or just imagine the way that he carries himself in most shows or most television or most Marvel films compared to the way Jeremy is handling his character for Kang. Like it's two different variations. Like his character's super serious.
Yeah.
Like to see that and then to know that you're gonna have this like one-liner character that's always like pumping jokes out, not taking things serious.
Honestly, that's not what I got. That's not when the King that I saw. I don't know if this is gonna be a different variation. But the King that I saw in Loki was kind of like a jovial person. He wasn't very serious. He was serious in nature about what he was talking about, but he was still kind of like lighthearted about it. He was just going about as like a as if type of,
but he was the lighter hearted version of him.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what version we're gonna get, in this movie, but I think both of them not being so serious will make because everybody else, Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer, the Evangel, whatever the other chick, whatever, they're all serious characters. Like they're all fucking serious as hell. And so when you have that contrast between the other two main characters, I think this is gonna be great. I think it's gonna work. And again, I'm a huge fan of Jonathan Majors. I can't say enough about this guy. I hope he does well.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be fantastic. I can't wait to see it. The last thing we got to cover, man, is the last episode. Come on, man. It's because I'm eating these fucking G-ass candies. Yo.
What are you eating? Nerds candy corn. You like candy corn?
No, fuck no. Candy corn's horrible. But Nerds flavored candy corn, that's a whole other fucking story.
Wait. We gotta break this down because I may just have to log off after this. Is this like, I understand they're nerd covered candy corn, but is it still like candy corn underneath it?
No, the texture is candy corn, like the way that the candy is made and the way it feels is. But the flavor is strawberry with grape inside, grape and grape, strawberry fruit punch, watermelon. It's just,
you know what? It's just the fact that the word candy corn is on that.
Yeah,
it
just
does
not associate.
Automatically turn me off.
No, they're all fruit flavors. They're all, it doesn't taste like candy corn. The texture's like candy corn, but oh man, dude.
Listen, I'm sorry. I never pass judgment. I never want people to pass judgment against me, but look, it happens in life. If you eat regular candy corn, please just don't talk to me. Like there's something wrong.
Don't watch Dahmer, you fucking serial killer.
Yeah, like you probably are Dahmer if you eat regular. If you eat fucking regular.
I remember I was watching someone. It was a comedian. He goes, "Dude, I don't even know how they make that shit." He goes, "You know what? I guarantee the way that they make candy corn is like for everybody that has it during Halloween and throws it away. They just hire people to go to the trash fills.
They just recycle it.
Yeah, and they just go to the trash fills and pick them back up.
You guys have been eating 10-year-old candy corn and you would not know the fucking difference.
Zombie apocalypse, 10 years later, candy corn's still good.
That's just disgusting.
That's it. That's all we got. That'll start the zombie apocalypse. But no, this is really, really good. I purchased these at the Dollar General, which is the coolest place to go. You guys have Dollar General here?
Yeah.
Sweet.
It's a lifesaver.
In the Halloween section, Dollar General. I recommend it. It's like $2. They're really good. They're tasty. Now we are going on to the last part of our conversation. And it's going to be, of course, She-Hulk episode 5. How do you feel about She-Hulk? How do you feel about the series? Has it been building up? Has it been lackluster? How do you feel?
Honestly, I've been enjoying it. I know a lot of people have their opinions about it. Trust me, I watch all of the reviews on them. A lot of people have their they're very critical about it. I like the show. I think it's a lot smarter than what people are giving credit for. If you just take it for face value, I can see how it could not be for a lot of people. I like to, I don't want to say overthink, but I like to look behind or in between the lines of what is trying to be said. So when I'm watching something, I need to know what's being said to me. You know, it's not just like I'm just sitting there and watching it and either I like it or I don't like it. Like, what is this writer or this director trying to tell me? And honestly, from what I've gotten so far, it's just holding up a big mirror and a middle finger to our social environment that we're living in right now.
Okay.
Like
The meta
from
commentary.
pretty much from the Jen's perspective on how women are viewed, to how they're treated, to the respect level, to sexism, to you know, the social environment with, you know, even in the latest episode with Titania and just making fun of like the social content creators and things of that nature. It's very, very funny, and I think that's the reason why yes, it's supposed to be taking in place of a courtroom and it's supposed to be serious, but it can't be too serious because they're making fun of us. They're making fun of us. They're beating us to the punch of some of the negative comments we're going to have about this show. Like, they're very aware of where they are and who they're speaking to and who's watching the show. To me, I think that's smart as fuck, and for that, I appreciate this show. What about yourself, sir?
I mean, the show's good. I mean, it's not like the comedy doesn't hit for me too well. I'm not a big fan of like the Ally McBeal shows to begin with. Like those shows never really caught my eye. Being that it's Marvel though, superheroes and all that stuff, I'm kind of a little bit more about. So I'm giving it a chance. I think
What
I
is
would
it
like
missing? What is it missing? I want to know what is it missing?
I guess for me, it's just missing like a little bit more like the action stuff. I
Okay.
really liked it from the other episode a couple of days ago or last week or whatever, when we got that kind of engagement with those dudes in the alley. Like,
Mhm.
you know, the way that they're kind of handling the Titania character, I get it. Like, I get that you want to kind of change the character to have it like based more on the now times
Yeah.
rather than make her like a glow wrestler from like the 80s, like for just no reason. Um, I don't know. Like again, we got introduced to this character, but we still don't know why she attacked the courtroom. We don't know why she was able to get out of jail so much faster, even though she like literally put a judge and her workers and stuff like in danger. Like they just really haven't explained much. So for them to bring in her character and be like, "Well, I'm going to take you to court for using She-Hulk as my name," I was like, "Well, that's corny," but I guess that's like I don't know. I didn't really feel like it was like I don't know. The show itself is kind of funny. The show is it's not as bad as people claiming it to be. Like I'll tell you that much. I'm not gonna give it like a 5-star rating.
Well, then what are you giving it?
I mean, I'd give it like a 6.5, 7. Like it doesn't. I just know that there's people out there that like it more than I do,
Yeah.
and that's okay because that's not my genre. I would rather watch Daredevil because I like the action and the beating up and all that other stuff. Not really about all this stuff. I did like what's his fucking name? The bling broker or what's his name?
Oh, the drip broker.
The drip broker. I like that guy. That guy was funny to me. I don't know why. He was pretty cool. He reminded me of a fashionista version of like what Amanda Mode
Yeah.
from The Incredibles. And I dug that. I really did. I thought that was cool. And then of course to give like this cool callback to the broker from what is it? From Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Mhm.
Like just to give a cool callback to the broker, which was really, really cool. Yeah, it's a cool way to introduce all these different characters. And I did dig the little Easter egg of Daredevil's helmet. That was like a real like on the nod. Again, my thing is we're trying to build a She-Hulk character. Like right now, as it is, do you feel like this character like belongs with the Avengers or the Fantastic Four? Like, do you feel like she needs to be there? Because that's where she belongs right now.
Well, it's still the origin. So, does she belong there right now? Well, her story's not told yet, so no. But where she'll be at the end of this season, or maybe her interactions with Daredevil or other people, maybe. I don't know. We're only 4 episodes into her origin show.
And there's still
So
like what,
so
5
so
more
so to
episodes
ask
left?
so to ask so to ask me, does she belong in the Avengers? I think it's premature. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's right. I think just with what we've been given, it's not enough to really say if her character's development in the show is Avenger quality, right? Or like a team quality for Avengers. I kind of feel like her being like a lawyer for superheroes, like that's developed.
Mhm.
Like if they're gonna do a thing where like Rhodey needs to take someone to court because he has less money because they talked about it in the other film, boom, Jennifer Walters shows up. I'll be like, okay, cool, this makes sense.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's why I say I don't think it's fair for you to ask that question, because maybe she's not supposed to be in the Avengers. Maybe she's not going to be part of the Avengers. Maybe they're going to take this avenue where they're going to elaborate and grow on the aspect of there being rogue superheroes out there, and now mutants that need to be defended, have a lawyer, and that's just going to be her role. We don't know. It's only 4 episodes into a 9-episode season, so let's see how this plays out. Maybe by the end of this, she's over fucking powered, and maybe she will be part of the Avengers, or maybe she won't. Maybe this will just be her job. But I have a question for you though, sir. This guy Todd, the date that she had in the other
The
episode.
doctor guy?
The is he a doctor guy? I don't know
I
if
want to
he's
say he's like a psychologist or something.
something like that. What do you think his deal is? Like, why do you think he was asking all those creepy questions during the date and then showed up again in this
Are you
episode?
talking about the good-looking one or the weird nerdy guy?
No, not the good-looking guy, the nerdy guy, Todd, the one that's very creepish and was asking all the really weird questions about her skin
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Like, have you thought about that? Like, has he popped up? Like,
Not really. He hasn't
you-
really like popped into my like forte thinking that he's gonna be something big. I mean, we still haven't seen the introduction of Frogman, so that could be a thing where he's like kind of like Frogman-esque, Peacemaker's little weird sidekick guy that he's trying to do like his like looking up, like trying to keep an eye on her or investigator. And this guy could literally be Frogman, and he just has a bunch of cash that he kind of like goes around and superheroes by night kind of thing. Other than that, I just think he's like a really sleazy dude that they're just trying to portray, that he's just like, since he has money, he's like that no neck guy from that dating show that everybody makes fun of. You know what I'm talking about? What's this dude, the guy with no neck, the chubby guy, the short dude that was like dating girls and he never can find a date or whatever.
I know you're talking about, but I never watched that show. Wasn't like
Kinda
90 Day Fiance type of thing.
Yeah. Where it's just like, this is dude, like he just has a fuckload of money and like, but he just like, he kind of considers himself like a cool guy, but everyone else around him thinks he's a fucking weirdo. Like, that's what I look at. And then of course, like there's this kind of like casually pushed idea that since like Robert, I'm surprised he hasn't said anything awkward in the comment section about our green tall friend, but kind of like that, where like there's this like weird a fascination with dating someone that's like a big bodybuilder, 8-foot tall chick. Like that's their thing or their forte. Yeah. Other than that, I really don't see anything coming from that. What about you? Like, is that something that you kind of like, you think there's something there?
Well, I just thought it was weird that on their date he was asking if her skin was impenetrable and she was flame resistant. Like, is that like a normal? Is that a normal thing you ask on a date? Like, I know it's She-Hulk, but he was very interested in
On certain
knowing
things, right?
on certain things. And then it would have been one thing if he was brought back because she needed to talk to all of the dates, but he was brought back before that. It just so happens that he was just one of the people that she went on a date with. Like, that doesn't seem weird to you? Like,
That is something cool.
he hired the other, what is it, Amelia? He hired the other lawyer to be his lawyer. He was introduced to She-Hulk, but she already knew who he was. It wasn't because she needed him as a witness, it's because he was he was hiring the other lawyer. So he just popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah, he just pops up and it just like, what are the odds?
And what are the odds?
Yeah. Oh fuck, I never even thought of that, man. So do you think that he might be someone that's working with like maybe those guys that tried to jump her and get the shot?
I do think so. I think I think he's going to be playing a bigger role in this show. I could be wrong, but maybe you're right. Maybe he's working for Frogman. He's like the lackey, that is just trying to get information, and maybe that's the case, or maybe he is the person trying to that sent the crew to get whatever blood from Jennifer Walters. I have seen some very weird but relative theories on who Todd is, and there was one floating around that he could be connected to the leader because we are getting the leader in that realm.
Yeah.
So he may be connected to the leader somehow, and that's the reason why. And the leader is connected with the Hulk and She-Hulk and all that shit. So there could be connection there. I don't know. It's very interesting.
I wonder who it could be. I'm gonna type this in, see what characters we could pop up.
From what I'm hearing, he could be like a relative, and that's all I'll say. I don't want to spoil it for anybody that's listening.
Like a family relative?
A family relative of the leader, and there's a lot of things at play here as to why he wants Jennifer's blood.
That's pretty crazy. But what? Oh, and they're trying to get the blood to try to help him or something?
Not to help him, but like,
study it or something.
So the leader's whole thing is what? Like, the reason why he is the leader is because he was the one in control of the Hulk's blood and doing the testing on it, and he's the one that gave the Abomination the serum or whatever. So like, his whole deal is with dealing with this gamma radiation blood and testing it. So comes to find out that this new Hulk has the same blood as the other Hulk, but even now more enhanced. Why wouldn't the leader want that? Why wouldn't he want to? Why wouldn't he not want to be involved in learning more about that blood? So who does he send? He may send a relative, a brother, maybe that has the same ideologies and same deal as him to do the recon mission and try to steal it. I think that's what we could be seeing. So like, I know it seems like on surface there's nothing going on right now, but because it's not for certain people, you may gloss over certain things. But I do think there's a lot of things going on here that will have some type of ripple effect later on down the line. If not in this story, then in another movie or something like that.
Here you go. I just found this on a website called trenddetails.com. The most credible theory suggests that behind Todd is actually Philip Stearns, the brother of Dr. Samuel Stearns, who appears in The Incredible Hulk from 2008. Played then by Tim Blake Nelson, this Samuel Stern is a scientist who helped Bruce Banner before being massacred by the Abomination. So I don't think he was massacred. No. He received drops of the Hulkian blood directly into a wound in his head, and in the comic books, he is transformed into the leader, a super genius of evil. Samuel, therefore, has a brother, Philip, who also becomes one of the great enemies of the Hulk in the comics. So the theory is that he might be Philip Stern.
Yeah,
sweet.
That's what I read.
Oh fuck! And that's because I guess it's just like.
That's what I'm saying. You get glossed over in just not being interested in this show.
And you get to kind of miss the stuff.
That you miss certain things, and it's right there. I think, and I'm not saying I think that's a really good theory. And if they go in that direction, which is literally right there for them to do, I think that would, for anyone that is looking as to where this is going or what ties to the MCU this may have, there it is right there.
Yeah, because it's one of those things, like, for me, of course, we have this whole and this is why I believe She-Hulk is going to be an Avenger, because we need a Hulk for the Avengers. And we know that when the Captain America story happens, all of the characters are going to come out to try to fight against Captain America and Hydra. Like, we know that for sure. And the Hulk, he's gone right now. Like, he's going to be gone for a good minute. He'll be back on Sakaar doing his thing for the World War Hulk series.
I know you can't wait for that.
Oh, I'm fucking buying shirts, buying t-shirts.
Don't worry, I'll buy you a shirt. Don't worry, I'll buy you a shirt and send it to you.
Oh, that's so bad. but we do understand that there needs to be a Hulk, and we can't think it's going to be Abomination. So more than likely, She-Hulk is going to be that person. That's why I think that them establishing the leader might be a really good villain for just She-Hulk herself, rather than needing to make him for the Hulk. The Hulk will come back later, anyways. But since they can kind of be a little bit more free with Jennifer Walters' She-Hulk character, you can get away with using some of the Hulk's villains easier. So like putting her against him would be a lot better. We know that the leader's supposed to play a major villain in the New World Order movie with Captain America. So yeah.
Which also had its panel. They have the whole cast of basically the Falcon and Winter Soldier gonna be in that movie. Can't wait for that. Also, Echo had a panel that had Vincent D'Onofrio on it. That's coming back as Kingpin.
Yes, I heard about that.
And then he stayed on stage because right after that, Daredevil Born Again had a panel as well. So Vincent D'Onofrio is going to be working a lot. So yeah, dude, it looks like there's a lot of stuff coming down the pike. So for everybody that's not, I guess, satisfied with where Phase 4 is right now, you have a lot to look forward to.
There's a lot of good stuff to look forward to now.
Loki 2, Loki season 2 had its panel up there.
Which really had me going because they introduced Data, the kid from Indiana Jones again.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones. Let's see. What's his name?
It's Ki Hu Kwan. Ki Hu Kwan. And not only is he his name was he was Short Round from Indiana Jones. And not only that, but Indiana Jones, the new movie had a panel as well with the trailer, and this kid is in it as well.
And he's in it also, right?
I think he is, yeah. And from what I'm hearing, this new Indiana Jones is dealing with like time travel.
It's gonna have time travel?
It's gonna have time travel.
Oh,
in
Jesus.
Indiana Jones, yeah.
Hey Juan, thank you for jumping to the show, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for catching on with us, man.
Yep.
If you have any questions on comic books, let us know, Juan. Thank you for jumping in with us, man. But yeah, man, Kehu Kwan, that's cool, man. And then he came up and he was got to take. I saw the picture with him and the Indiana Jones guy. What's his name? Fucking God, I forgot his name. I can't believe it was off the top of my head. Well, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. It was so cool to see him back, and I'm super excited to see him be a part of the Loki season 2. It baffles me on who he's going to play. Like off the top of my head, I really can't think of anybody that I think that he could be. So that's really exciting, man. And not only that, to know that when Doctor Strange came out and they talked about the whole multiverse thing, their movie, Everything All at Once or whatever it was called, that came out at the same time, and everyone was like, yo, this movie did multiverse better.
Yeah.
Like it did multiverse way better. And then Marvel was like, yo, we heard you, so we just hired the cast. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? They were like, bet we're gonna go back to Loki. We need it. Let's go.
Well, whatever character he's gonna play is gonna be a big one for him to be on the panel. Yeah.
I am super excited. This guy, he's such a sweetheart guy. Like, I saw his interview on, I want to say the Tonight Show, where Jimmy Kimmel, when he started like saying that he was so scared of the way it was back in the day in Hollywood, and now he's taking this opportunity to come out and start making films again, and he's just getting calls after calls, dude. Like he's getting jobs, and I'm so excited. But to see him in the Marvel universe, that makes me really happy. So yeah, I wonder who he's gonna play.
I don't know, but again, it's going to be a substantial role. Also, Wakanda Forever had another panel. Ryan Coogler came out and had one more final trailer for the people that attended, which is pretty cool. And then again, another kind of Vincent D'Onofrio move. He stayed on stage as they had another panel for Ironheart. Ironheart had a not a screening, but like a little teaser trailer that Ryan Coogler stayed on stage and joined Kevin Feige and Anthony Ramos, who's going to be in the show as well. So like this is like Marvel just destroyed D23, and Star Wars had a little bit, and then not last but not least, but then also what's the fucking stupid movie that I told you I'm not gonna fucking
Black
watch?
Adam?
Avatar. No, Avatar.
Oh, Black Adam.
Avatar had a panel as well. So James Cameron came out. You know, Zoe Saldana came out. Sigourney Weaver. Everybody came out. It was a huge fucking thing. What is your anticipation for Avatar, dude? Like, I know we talked about it not too long ago, but like on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at when you want to see this movie?
I mean, the story building of that world in the first movie was, I mean, you can't deny it. It's fucking fantastic.
It is. But dude, I was in a different place when I saw that movie. Like, I don't know if I still want to see. Like, why haven't we gotten this movie? Like, we should have got this movie so long ago, I feel.
I mean, you're not wrong. They shouldn't have fucking. I hate it when these companies do that and they wait like fucking 10 years,
20 fucking years, bro.
I hate that shit, dude. I hate that shit so much. I'm gonna see this real quick. I want to show you this trailer of this film I saw today. Let me see if I can find it. That's kind of like the reason why I'm kind of anticipating because it's the fact that the world building of the first movie was so amazing, and for them to now, I mean, because when you watch that film the first time, everyone did such an amazing job. And they built it, and it was just in a forest. But they had like these fucking like islands up in the air that are like, you know, magnetized, floating little like things that people can fly around and what. The world building of that place was it was cool as fuck. Like what's the thing called? What was the fucking place? I can't even remember what it was called.
Don't ask me anything. Like I haven't
like,
seen the movie in like 15 fucking years, bro. I don't remember.
But like just the whole entire aspect of them using like that whole like Matrix and an avatar, like being like the reason why it's called Avatar is because you literally get an avatar to go into this world to be a part of it. And then they found some weird loophole that kind of gets him to where like his soul can be transcended into a tree and then into this like,
oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
this like weird like organic meat puppet that the fucking human beings have created. Like it's just interesting. I think it just correlates into this interesting. And then to know that the villain in the first movie, that they found a way to put his soul using their own technology into an avatar or whatnot. Yeah, Pandora.
Give me a fucking break, bro.
Yeah. Like that's the only thing is, but I thought the villain of the first film was fucking badass. Like that guy needs more movies of him, which is the guy from Can't See Me Now, or what's that one where he's like a fucking dude and he's blind and he's like fucking killing people in his house? Do you remember that movie?
Oh, I know. I never saw it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that actor guy.
The guy that was like the villain in the movie. Yeah,
he's super cool looking. Like that dude is like that's 100% the bad guy you want in an Aliens movie that's gonna fuck you over. Like that's the look.
He's the same guy in every fucking movie. It's like
every movie. He's I don't know. He's what's it? Qui-Gon Jinn's character in every movie he fucking plays. He's Tom Cruise in every movie Tom Cruise plays. Like they all do the same shit. They all get typecasted, but he knows his fucking role. Like he did amazing in that job. So I don't know. Avatar 2 is a great film when it first came out. I think you're absolutely correct. I think it's going to do the same thing that the Matrix did. Was it waited too fucking long to come back?
Yeah,
waited too long, and everyone was like, "What the fuck is this? Why do I care now that Neo and Trinity have powers? Like, who the fuck cares? Like Neil Patrick Harris, like who the fuck?"
But
cares
you know what the difference is though. Like when it comes to the Matrix, the one thing they had going for them is that at least Keanu Reeves was around.
Yeah.
So he could ride off the wave of John Wick and get people interested in a Matrix movie.
Yeah. I mean,
Avatar
right now he just caused huge ruckus because he just signed on for Keanu Reeves' Constantine 2.
Yeah.
So I'm fucking way excited to see that shit. And it's been like fucking 12 years. But it's because, he's been active. He's been actively doing films in that genre and keeping himself like relevant. None of the people from Avatar have been relevant except for Zoe Saldana.
Zoe Saldana, yeah.
That's it. Like that's it.
That's pretty much it. So, and then not only that, but like you guys could have came out with like a series of like
Just
the
something to
world
keep us like just
world
keep the palette-
building. You guys could have came out with a comic book, a video game, something to make the people to keep
Refresh
the
the
interest
palette.
there. Yeah, but like if you're just gonna cold cock me with a fucking another movie, bro,
Yo,
I'm
here's some
gonna be like,
water.
dog,
And here's
yeah.
another fucking problem and a bigger monster they
Here you
gotta
go.
lock tentacles with, man.
And it's 3 hours long. So here, good luck with that. No,
Have
dude,
fun.
I'm good. I'm good on that.
Yeah, it might be a little bit too much, man. It might be a little bit too much. Juan also says the problem with James Cameron movies is you never know. Could be a high grossing movie. No. James Cameron movies are always high grossing.
Don't get me wrong. This movie is gonna make
it's gonna make a fuckload
of money. It's gonna make a fuckload of money. I don't know if I want to see it.
James Cameron himself is a visionary. Like he's an artist. Like what he does amazingly. And that's gonna be my segue to want to show you this trailer I saw today. It's a trailer I no reason to be checking this shit out. You know me, dude. I like my fucking superhero movies. I like my princess stories of the Disenchanted or whatever. But I'm not really like a serious, like a drama kind of film. Steven Spielberg released a trailer for this movie called The Fablesman. And I wanted you to check out this trailer. So I'm going to play that here right now, just so we all can watch. And to me, this is like a highlight of what it's like to see someone who makes films compared to people that are just like kind of casually making films. Like this is what I feel like we've been missing. So here we go. Check this out. Look at the beauty of the cinematography.
Movies are dreams that you never forget.
And you said this is Spielberg, right?
Yeah, Steven, you can already tell it's like very like lens flares and very ET-ish.
The lights change how everything looks. It's hard to find our house.
Ours is the dark house with no lights.
All right, kid.
Kill everybody.
Scientists
They'll be
versus
like,
the
no,
artists.
no.
Sammy's on my team, takes after me.
What kind of movie are we gonna make?
Fucking Seth Rogen.
You dismiss what he does. It's playful or imaginative. You could afford to be a little encouraging.
She should have been a concert piano player. What she got in her heart is what you got.
You can't just love something, you also have to take care of it. It's more important than your hobby. Can you stop calling it a hobby?
Mom got a monkey.
Why'd you get a monkey?
Because I needed a laugh.
You always have to be the center of attention.
Stop shouting at her.
That has been nothing but disrespect from you. I'm your mother.
Family, art. It'll tear you in two.
You stop making movies, it'll break your mother's heart. I don't know what to do anymore.
You do what your heart says you have to. What was your favorite part?
What do you think, dude? It's cinematography wise.
It's not for me. It looks good. I mean,
there's something about it, right? There's like an artistic value to like the way that it's filmed.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. I saw it today and I was like, wow, this movie looks really nice.
Yes.
By chance, did you get to see the right? Look right there, the lighting and how it was used, like to sell certain emotional values or the value of certain shots?
I'm at a point in my life you're gonna have to do more than dazzle me with lights and how it's used. Like
I mean, of course,
like it's gonna be more than that for me. I mean, are you Are you gonna see the movie? Are you gonna watch it?
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna watch the shit out of this movie. I don't know why.
Yeah.
There's just something about it that's like it kind of has like that Big Fish, like kind of vibe to it, where it's like whimsical.
I don't know, dude. That's not gonna. That movie is not made for me. Let's just put it
Okay,
that
no,
way.
no, I understand it. I
That
understand
movie,
it. And it's like I said,
I am not the demographic. I am
Yeah, that it's
definitely not the
reaching for.
demographic for that they were reaching
But
for.
you get why. I mean, I said that right before. I was like, dude, this is really like not our forte. I'm very much, even myself, I'm very about like action films. I like things a little bit faster paced than that. But there's just something cinematography wise that a lot of those shots look like pictures. Like they look like almost every shot was like purposely made for a reason.
Well, it's
Like,
fucking Steven Spielberg. Like, what do you expect? Like,
and
it's
that's
one
the
of the
beauty of it. Like,
greatest
that's
of
what
our
I kinda
time.
feel.
Like,
Like a lot of these heavy hitting directors, a lot of these storytellers, they're not making films. They're not making they're not making them as fast as all these other big franchises are. And that's kind of what I think it is. I mean, Steven Spielberg, I mean, it looks fantastic. Looks fantastic. I'm gonna watch it. I just got done watching he used that in Super 8. Super 8 was another film. And Super 8 was crazy as fuck. I love Super 8. Did you see that one?
Super 8.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. They're superheroes,
Stranger
right?
Things.
Yeah.
That was good. I mean, the cinematography, lens flare, that was a big thing back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that it still casually is. But
Super 8 was pretty good. I like that. I like that one.
So yeah, I don't know why I was just like, I gotta show you. And by chance, on HBO Max, have you seen that they released Elvis?
Oh, it's out.
Yeah. Did you get to watch it or no?
I haven't watched it yet. No.
It is very
I don't know
across
how.
the universe.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I have my own.
I think you and I talked about that once. You're not like a big like musicals kind of guy, right? Like a music kind of film guy.
It's not that, just specifically Elvis. I just have my thing
Like
about
the
him, but-
womanizing part of him, like the part that he was like a big douche.
well, not that, and that he was a. I mean, technically he was a pedophile, but we don't have to get into that. But whatever.
No, that's very important because that's not even covered in the fucking movie.
Of course,
You know
it's
what I mean?
not.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. Like, there's a lot of like this romanticizing of all of these. You know, that was the same thing they did like in Queens, right? Where they like they moved a lot of stuff around, made him seem like a real great guy kind of thing. And you know, there was a lot of like evil that was being done in those times too. But the stories themselves, the films for what they're worth, like they're okay. The Elvis movie I checked out. I never saw it in theaters. I thought it was cool that they were making a film, but I was not a big fan of it. The first time I saw it, I finally got to watch it for free. I didn't have to pay for it. I'm already paying for HBO Max, so I got to watch it, and it was a good watch.
Liked it?
Yeah, it's a good watch. It really is. It's like you said, they're gonna remove a lot of the stuff that he actually did to try to like heroize this character that was bigger than life. But
Priscilla was like 15, bro.
yeah, oh, I know. Yeah, I know.
She's like
and then
15 years old, bro.
All the fact that he was actually corroborating with a lot of like the mafia and all this other stuff in Vegas and like all this other weird shit. He was like cocaine and all this other stuff that he was doing, like
That's just fine. That's
Yeah.
just fine. But his
But
wife
yeah,
was
that-
15 years old.
No, there's other stuff that's in it that's kind of like, ooh, fuck. But,
Like, no, the snorting of the cocaine, the dealing with the
Come on.
mob.
That's
That's what's supposed to happen when you're an entertainer.
But yeah, Juan Morales also says, I saw an interview that the reason you don't see the lower budget films is because back in the day, they depended on DVD and VHS sales and rentals. And now that you don't have those blockbusters, now you don't make, yeah, that's absolutely correct. The rentals game kind of plays a huge aspect on this because now it's like, if you release a film, I guess the rentals would be what, Redbox nowadays? Because if you're streaming, if you stream for like Netflix, more than likely you're not going to be on Hulu. More than likely you're not going to be on Disney unless you're a Disney property or HBO or whatnot.
What do you mean?
Like, like he's talking about like the reason why a lot of these like lower budget films you don't get to watch as many of them as much is because of the fact that like VHSs and DVDs and rentals, like since that's not around anymore, that plays a factor into like a lot of like the lower budget films, like not being able to be as big as these.
I'm missing. You got to. I don't understand what you mean by that.
Comment section.
No, I know what the comment section, but you're explaining it to me, and it's still not hitting. So the lower budget movies aren't doing well because as well Okay, because of the distribution.
Yeah, because like nowadays you think about it, right? Like if you want to get into like, because you have a lot of like these, like we were talking about, like when I got to do the 48-hour film race.
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to start getting into film and then distribute my film, more than likely it's not going to be like any type of big hit or anything crazy off the top. It's going to take me years to get into anywhere close that I need to be, right? To at least make it. But the thing is starting that genre of work has become a little bit more difficult for the filmmaker because of the aspect of how do you distribute nowadays.
You have more vehicles now to distribute than you ever had.
Which would be like what, like YouTube?
Yeah,
paywalls.
you have way more ways of distributing than you ever had. Going the DVD and the VHL sell like selling route was way more harder than, because you had to get the fucking DVDs, you had to get the VHSs, you had to, that's a distribution. You could do everything. You could distribute your own movie right now for free.
Oh yeah, most def. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I'm confused as to what that point is trying to make.
No, but I do get what he's saying, because like back in the day when we would make films before streaming was a thing, like we would get distribution rights and you would buy like a license, and the moment you established your film and it was done and ready to go, like your distribution company could put it at Walmart.
Yeah,
And then
so
it's at every moment.
he just answered it. To make money, you could put it on YouTube. Once you reach a certain amount of viewers or a certain amount of people that make it, you can monetize off of your movie on YouTube. Or if you want, you can put it on Apple movies and put a paywall on it. People will buy it. Like there's ways to make movies and have other people distribute it for you. We are at a time where distribution is at an all-time high. You don't need anyone to distribute anything. Music, movies, art.
The opportunity to get your material out is out there. I guess like what
there's YouTube creators and content creators that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just off of YouTube alone. If you have a market and you know how to use it, you can make a nice amount of money. I know this one guy, Corporate Business, he started making YouTubes I want to say about 2 years ago. He doesn't even need a paywall, but because he gradually got such a huge following, he's making like hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on YouTube and using YouTube as a distribution vehicle for him. So I'm glad that you brought this up, because I had this conversation so often as a content creator, as someone that's in the realm. I don't want to hear that as an excuse anymore that people don't have a way of distributing their content or their movies or their music.
Now that's understandable. To be able to distribute it and get it out so people could watch it, that's everywhere. You can get that. But then how do you get the same success from the other people that
hustle? And
that's
there's a huge difference, and that's something that there's a huge difference between the successful ones and the unsuccessful ones, the ones that are just going through the fucking motions. And what is it? It's the hustle. It's the drive. It's the days that you don't want to create content that you're making fucking content. It's the days when you feel like shit and you're kind of down yourself because the views are low. Does that make you not want to fucking do it? Or, days where you don't, as I'm saying, like that's the answer to your question, is the hustle. You can't give up just because things get tough.
And do you feel
everything's there for you though?
And let me ask you this, because I mean we're both in the same genre when it comes to this work, and I work with it too. Like, do you feel like the geography of where you're from correlates with that too? And should you be advertising to different areas that you may have the proper potential? Because what happened with me is I would use advertisement pay to promote the podcast here, and I would do it in my general area, and the reach would be anywhere from like, if I did like a $20 ad pay, I could get anywhere from like 2,000 to like 5,000, right?
Okay.
Like just kind of like not organic, because it's not organic when you pay. Just people looking at our content.
Mm-hmm.
But when I started using tags based on bigger cities, that same amount at $20 went up to like base of 10 to like 25,000.
So you just basically just answered your own question. Like, so let me ask
you, that's like a better thing, because like it's different, because I come from a smaller area. You come from a metropolis of people.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let's say you're starting you're starting a company, I'm starting a company. Let's say I'm not from Jersey, but I'm from New York City, right?
Okay.
And you're from the Valley, right? But we both start out with $100,000 in marketing money. You think that I would have a better reach because I'm in New York with $100,000 as opposed to you would with $100,000?
Yes.
Why?
The idea of how, since there's so much more vast population in a tighter knit area, all the people that walk by your business, the walk through value of people walking past your work is going to be like the amount of people I get like in a week.
Just in marketing though, just in marketing. Like, again, like I think this is tapping into a bigger argument. It's the mentality. The mentality has to change. You have access to the same people that I have access to. You have YouTube like I have. You have social media like I have. You have all that shit like I have. If you know the right hashtags, if you know the right ways, there's certain ways to go about this to reach whatever market you want to. You can reach.
I mean, more than likely, we're supposed to be reaching to a nation, not just a small community of people.
You can reach to people
Anywhere.
in New York, anywhere.
Yeah,
you can reach
anywhere.
You reach people in India. I know you have the graphics. I know how this shit works. You have the graphics
before.
You can reach people in Canada. You can't tell me that you can reach somebody in fucking Uruguay, but you can't reach somebody in New York. You can't tell me that. So I don't think it's the mentality thing. It's like, oh, I can't reach, or you have the advantage because you're over there. No, that's bullshit. You have the same opportunity that I do. You just have to change your mentality on it. You can reach that demographic if you want to. Or if not, then change it up. Change your content. Change whatever. But you still have the opportunity. You still have the same vehicles that I have. And again, I'm taking the money part out of it because we're both starting with $100,000. Now, if it's the case where you don't have the money and you can't reach who you want to, then you have a leg to stand on. But if we're both starting out with $100,000, you can reach the same market that I'm reaching.
Well, even with that, like even in a small area like where I'm from, like with $100,000, you could do a fuckload of advertisement, like a fuckload if you know how to make it work. A lot of people just automatically assume that they have to spend it on really, really over prestigious commercialing or whatnot. You just have to be better at marketing and where to put your money in to be able to put it in the proper place.
And so that's answering Juan's
question.
Juan's last statement. He says, I think it's the demographic, like here, podcasts are not as big as some other parts of the country. Well, that's
I'm guessing, Juan, are you from the Valley or are you from South Texas or anywhere in Texas? The idea is like, like I've been to the podcast game for a minute down here.
It's the hustle, bro. It's the hustle. It's the hustle. If it's not working, switch it up. If it's not reaching the demographic that you want, well, then switch it up. Make better content. Have a better grind.
Yeah.
Think about this nonstop.
Yeah.
Make sure if you want this to get done, you can get it done. I don't like that mentality of, oh, well, I'm in the Valley, so I can't. Fuck that, bro. You can.
Yeah, you gotta make it work.
You gotta make it work. I don't want to hear that.
We've been at the podcast game for I know one. We've been at the. I was just trying to give you a shout out, man. Let you talk about where you're from, brother. Try to help him out. The idea is we start a podcast here in the Valley area. It's not really about hey, let's do a podcast, let's make it work. Like that's not something that our traditional area really looks at. So that gives you a really good opportunity because you're a pioneer in creating something new. It's barely been that after the coronavirus and during the coronavirus that podcasts started popping off everywhere. And so in our area, they popped off pretty well. We were already established by that time working with another podcast company. So we came in and started pushing on the Facebook genre, started pushing on the Facebook environment a little bit more. And we've maintained pretty well. Yeah, we're not at the numbers that we'd like to be live, but our downloads are different. Like we have a constant stream of downloads that are doing fairly well on the podcasting areas that we're a part of. the live is always to me very difficult. I mean, unless you're like a huge content creator that's doing something like video games or something, and you've already kind of had an established, like you're a streamer, then you get a lot of podcast people. You get a lot of people to jump in your stuff. But
I
lot
don't
of
believe
people
that.
don't go
I
to
gotta cut you
Facebook
off. I gotta
first.
cut you off right there. Again, that's the mentality thing. You gotta stop thinking like that. Like these people have an advantage over you. No, it's because these video gamers, they usually start off with 1 or 2 viewers, but
Everybody does.
it's because they're on every
Yeah, they're
fucking
consistent.
day. They're
Scheduling.
on for 10 hours a fucking day. It's a mentality thing, bro. Like I get it, and I get what you're trying to say, but that part of me that is supposed to have sympathy for that type of conversation, it doesn't exist. Like I understand that you had your journey and shit, but then my next question is your dedication. I'm not trying to question your dedication, but it's like, okay, so maybe things didn't work out in the past, but where is your dedication now? Where is it moving forward? Okay, shit didn't work out over there, but great. It can work over here. It's not working over here, so let's try this. Let's try different content over here. Try it until you can't do it anymore.
Mhm.
Like that part of that mentality, I gotta get away from that, because then I can't be able to grow. Like I need to be around people that can see the light at the end of the tunnel and doesn't want to have any any setbacks or take setbacks as a, oh well, this is just where we are. No, fuck that, bro. Like everything around us is set for us to be able to reach other people.
Mhm.
It's made up that way. So when I hear, oh, we don't have distribution, fuck that. Yes, we do. It was harder when you had DVDs and VHSs.
Yeah, you make it happen.
You make that shit happen. You
Yeah,
can
nowadays there's so many different
turn on
venues.
I can turn on my phone right now and reach somebody in Bali.
Yeah. Right
You
now,
tell me
the idea of having ways to get your content is there. But it just doesn't fall onto your lap. You have to make sure you work hard and you push and you continue to get it out there as best as you can. The struggle is real, man. The struggle is real, but just like you want to grind to create something, someone else wants to create it too.
well,
Like,
then you
that's
got to
just
be
what
better at them.
So you
You
just
got to be better at them.
There's always got to be competition. You just got to be agreed. You got to be above it.
You got to be
You gotta
better than
push.
them. I'm telling you. And Kobe Bryant is the perfect example, dude. Like when most of the people in the NBA are out partying, guess where he's in? He's in the
Yeah.
fucking gym.
He's
He's
in
taking 100 fucking shots. He'll play a game. He'll get up. He'll play a game. He'll be done with the game by 11 o'clock. By 3 o'clock, he's in the gym shooting 100 times.
I think
You cannot tell me that there was an inch of doubt in Kobe's mind that he wasn't going to be one of the best fucking basketball players in the world. And there's no way that he was going to let him coming up from Philadelphia or coming from a small town anywhere that was going to stop that. So you say that you're from the valley? No, fuck that, bro. Like that should inspire you to be from the fucking valley, to be one
That's
of
my
the first ones to
grind.
make it out, bro.
That's my grind. That's my grind.
So
That's
Juan, I
100%
don't know
my
what you're
grind.
talking about with that shit. I'm sorry. I mean, I know you're a fan, and I do appreciate that, but that shit is foreign to me. I don't understand what that is. That's the talk that I don't associate. I don't know what that means.
But being on this show, brother, Juan, you're going to learn that we're going to teach you a whole other mindset about how to approach this thing and not to give a shit about what other people think, and you're going to make it work. If
Fuck
that's your
yeah.
thing, man, if that's your thing is to create your own content and do your own podcast. We
And
want
that's
you
what I'm
to be
saying. And that's another thing. Like if it might not be your thing. It might not be your thing to become a super successful fucking podcast or a super successful content creator, because it's not going to be for anything. So it's not going to be for everyone, I should say. So that's fine. But if you wanted to, I don't think there's anything stopping you, Juan. If there's something that you want to do, bro, there's nobody stopping you from fucking
So he
doing it.
asks,
I don't care about your region. I don't care about your nationality. I don't care about your race. I don't care about any of that shit. Like if you want to do something, you will make sure that you fucking make it happen, and no one can
Yeah,
fucking
like
stop
if you think about it, like we're like a big nerd culture community on our podcast, and one of the biggest content creators for comic books is Comics Explained, Rob, and he's a black man, and he's like million views, man. That guy drops a video, million views.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It's one of those things that you cannot think. I mean, but right now, like, and even if you think of it that way, Juan, like our opportunity right now as minorities has been given. We've been given a great opportunity right now in the time period that we're in, because
Absolutely.
right now minorities are shining bright, dude.
And
Right
you
now,
could
we
be
are shining.
independent. Like this is an independent way of doing things. Like if you were in the corporate world and you had to depend on a check, then yes, race is gonna has a factor. Your age has a factor. All that shit that could set you back from getting that raise that you've been busting your ass for. That's when that shit comes in. But this is all you. That's the reason why, like, your dedication plays such a big part, because no one, if you do succeed, it'll be because of your work that you've done and the amount of time that you've put into this shit. So when you're asking me, do I think race makes a difference in content creators? No, because there is going
but in
to
the
be
process too, like
there's
you
going
got to
to
look
be
at
a
it this, like we have a lot of opportunities to be more successful right now, being of a minority. So like if you want to consider that race plays a factor, then yeah, but it's more in a positive nature
it's
than
in a
a
positive
negative
way.
nature. And that's even a greater way to look at it. Cause like, yes, race doesn't play a factor, but if it did, it would be in a positive state.
It'll get you it'll get you your niche audience and your cult following, however it is, whether it's because of your race or it's because of your looks or whether it's because you got big tits, small tits, you know what I'm saying, funny face, whatever it is, whatever your niche
Whatever your niche is.
that's what's gonna happen.
No, that's good. No,
Nah, dude. I'm just very passionate because me and Chris have this conversation
all the
sometimes, and I'm very passionate about this. So when you said that, it kind of struck a chord with me, and it's just like that's just. And listen, I'm at fault for being lazy sometimes too, and I don't post as much as I should, but at least I do know that when it is time to pull the trigger on the things that I do want to get accomplished, that I don't think there's anything out there that's stopping me. I don't think it's because I live in New Jersey. I don't think it's because I'm black. I don't think it's because of any of that shit. It's because of me.
It's all on responsibility.
It's on me. Yeah. If I don't.
And what's crazy is like the culture that we live in nowadays is a very like they don't take enough responsibility for their actions. A lot of people will say, "I'm sorry, but this," and they'll try to blame something else because they don't want to have it dictated correctly at them. Sometimes it's about just taking the initiative and saying, "Hey, you know what? That's 100% on me. I'm gonna get better." Like that's the thing is too, like I build content, Brian builds content. If there's one thing that we could possibly do to make things better, it would be that we create more content during the week. But you know, we have our lives that kind of initially go in between, you know, the days and stuff like that. But we've created this podcast specifically on this day at this hour, and we are here literally like rain or shine. And Mike, you can see him, and that's Trigger in the comment section. He's been with me before, and I had another guy named John Man who was there before Trigger. I've been at this like nonstop. I've never missed a date on my podcast since. Like it's one of those things. Like I've managed to keep it like this, and it's been rough because like even right now, like my good friends are all celebrating a birthday party, and there's a huge part of me that wants to be there.
Yeah.
But I know deep down inside, and they understand my passion for what I do, that they know, hey, Chris, but you know what? You have your podcast, and I understand that.
Yeah.
I totally understand. And that to me is fucking awesome. That even through a birthday, my friends are there saying, hey, you know what? I know how passionate you are about this. So you don't need to worry. You have a good excuse. Go do your thing and talk about some weird nerd shit. And miss this. And I love it, dude. I love it so much. Juan says, I'm a marketing director. I know that like down here, the demographic a lot are not into podcasts. Yeah. And it's absolutely and that's fine, dude. That's so cool that they're not. And that's great because when your channel makes it, you're going to be the first guy that says, hey, you know what? Like it wasn't into it, but it is now.
And it's not even about that, honestly. I think it's actually good. I think it's good that your direct surroundings aren't fucking with you, for lack of a better term, because that will force you to find your demographic.
Well,
It'll force you to go out there and find exactly where your demographic is.
Yep. You
So
grew his channel up to 3,000.
That's a blessing.
That's a fucking awesome thing, dude. Good job, dude. Keep working, man. Keep working, my dude.
Yeah, and see, and you did it. That's what I said. Like before you even wrote that, I think that's a positive. And I told Chris this too. Like I know what the culture is like down there in the valley. So F it. Fine. Like don't depend on it then. Don't
the thing is all of you guys in here in the comment section, those that are watching, you also know the demographic down here.
Yeah.
Like you know how the mentality is, which should push you even harder to be more successful.
Yeah.
To be able to prove people wrong. That's my big thing. So I pushed this podcast very hard in the last several years. Could it be harder? Yes. I could push it a lot more. It's just kind of hard, but I'll make it work. I'm gonna make it work for the rest of my life. I love this thing. I love what we do.
I'd like to hear it.
Yeah. Brian, how you feeling?
Good, man. Good. A little tired.
Covered a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. We did. Yeah. We covered a lot of ground. I mean, when we first got on, we didn't know what the hell we were going to talk about.
Yeah, I think we were going to cover D23. I mean, and then not only that, I wanted to talk about. So right now, just kind of laying this out there, guys. Pay attention to this because this might be something that grows to be pretty big in the next week. Comcast wants to buy Warner Bros. Discovery merged with NBC Universal. That sounds like something crazy. Sounds like something crazy. More DC problems. I know what I'm telling you. So something to look out for. Brian, you're excited for the weekend? What do you got planned?
Gonna be hanging out tomorrow with a couple of friends, and then because there's the Triple G and
the fights, right?
The fight is tomorrow. Yeah, man. So I'm definitely gonna hang out and do that, and then other than that, just relax, man. Just
are you gonna be watching the fights and shit?
Yeah, I'm watching the fights and just hanging out, drinking a couple.
Let me see if I can get this real quick. Let me see if I can post this up real fast so that way you guys know. Let me get to this real quick. Let me see. I posted it the other day, but here we go. I'll just click on this. And here we go. I'll just blow this up real quick. So anybody in the comment section, guys, just so you know, we have the 80s Brewery NanoCon coming up October 29th. It's going to be a really, really cool competition. So far, Lord of the Rings, it's not too bad. There's not enough of the story development for me yet, but it gives me a lot of stuff to watch. It takes a lot of my time up, so I'm cool about watching a bunch of fantasy stuff. But we are having this event. We are going to be with our boy Game at Hands and Widowmaker Studios. The Average Boys is going to be there podcasting also. We're going to be a part of it. We are helping them host. It's going to be a great event, October 29th at the 80s Brewery NanoCon, Halloween Havoc. It's going to be super cool. You guys do not want to miss out. It's going to be a great time. And then this weekend, we are going to be at United Collectors Expo, September 24th in Edinburgh. It's a really, really cool event. It's going to be great. We're going to be there supporting our boys with the United Collectors Expo. Christella, the cosplayer, CC Builds is going to be out there doing her awesome stuff. And yeah, guys, make sure you go check it out if you're in the area. It's going to be like a $5 event. It's pretty chill, pretty easy to come in, relaxing, and yeah, get it, boys. Brian, everybody in the comment section, I want to say thank you guys very much for tuning in. Absolutely. Everybody in the comments, to our extraordinary listeners, we appreciate every one of you. Brian, I got to say thank you for tuning in, or not tuning in, but coming in and being my host, the host with the most. Make sure you get to Dollar General and buy some. Brian,
rather jump off the roof of my apartment.
Brian, I'm looking at you, man.
I'd rather jump off the roof of my apartment.
Look, I'm gonna. You said, Chris, if you vouch for that, I'll watch it.
I was totally lying to you.
Candy corn, it's where it's at.
No.
Well, this variation of candy corns is where it's at. Guys, it was super cool having you.
Thanks, Juan. It was nice meeting you too, bro.
Juan, it was very cool, man. I hope you catch on, man, and go to the gym sometime when you're not being a lazy bum. But guys, thank you so much. Vince, we haven't seen the Teen Titans Zack Snyder clip. You have to send it to me in the DMs. Guys, if there's anything in the nerd news or comic books or culture or video games or anything you guys want us to check out, make sure you guys hit us up on our DMs, message us, tell me if you've seen and how you feel about the roster for Street Fighter 6, what you thought about the fucking wild trailer for Tekken 8. And we'll catch you guys again next Friday here on the Average Boys Podcast, live 9 p.m. every Friday here on Facebook. Guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to add us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcast, all the great stuff. And we'll catch you guys again next Friday. Laters.
Peace.
Game over.